Your fake cry.
That is not a fake cry.
It is.
All right, we gotta move on because
Okay.
I have to go to bed at some point tonight. Ready?
Now it's garbage.
Just another movie night.
Hi, we're just another movie night, and this is Talking Furious.
That's my line. Talking furious. Don't steal my shit.
You got it. I'm gonna whisper like Dom through this whole episode.
No, you gotta mumble.
So
That was a good one.
we are joined by our family, our Bad Movie Night family, to once again discuss another Fast and the Furious movie. And today we are on Part 7. What is it called? Furious 7 from 2015. And in the last few episodes, we've discussed some game shows. We've talked about some trivia. We're not going to do that. We're going to move quick. We're going to move fast. We're going to talk about how the budget for this movie is somewhere around 190 to 250 million dollars.
Oh, we didn't get to do our estimates.
We're not doing that anymore.
Okay, why?
Dang.
Because Jared fucked it up?
But our box office gross
$1 billion.
Yes. $1.515 billion.
That's not even a number.
This is the 11th highest grossing film of all time.
Wow.
I believe it. This was better than Titanic.
Just beating Avengers by 5 million. And it's following Top Gun Maverick,
Wow.
which Top Gun
okay.
Maverick has made that much money already.
Wow.
So this time around, we are ditching our director because our director said he didn't want to do anymore. His last one was the last one. He's moving on. Chris Morgan is still back as writer, but this time around we have James Wan, the director and creator of the Saw franchise, for some reason coming in to direct an action film.
I think you can feel the difference here.
Yeah. Let's go around the room and invite everybody in. My family. To my side, we have Jeff.
Hello. How's it going?
Fantastic. Aaron.
I thought there was going to be more interaction right there. Just a hello.
Gary.
Hello. I'm ecstatic to get an introduction this week.
Did you not get introduced last week?
None of us did.
Is that true? No, I did introduce you by telling you what movies you might have seen that year.
Yes, that's right. You
You know
were
what?
introduced.
Why are you starting shit already, huh?
I like the formal introduction. Thank you.
Would you like to tell us where your family's from? Would you like to tell us more about your
Do
parents?
you like long walks on the beach?
Long walks to the
Do
fridge?
you wear sleeves and white pants to the beach?
I live my life 1/10 of a mile at a time.
Fantastic. And Jared.
Good evening.
Good evening. So yeah, we're talking about Fast and the Furious 7. I figure we got a long movie here. This is the longest in the series, I think, so far.
2 hours, 17 minutes.
Yeah, and we watched the extended cut. I don't know what was different. I can't tell you because the only thing I can imagine was cut out of this film might have been Belgian wheat talk.
No, that's the best part.
I don't really know what could have been cut out of this film. But let's get into the plot because this is what we do. We're going to talk the movie out, discuss the flaws, our hopes, dreams, loves, hates, all that shit. Let's talk about Fast and the Furious 7, guys. This movie starts out pretty quick with a reintroduction to our characters living their lives normal, right?
Yeah, Brian and Mia are parents.
Yeah, we got them. Him driving a minivan and driving his kid to school, and him trying to live that normal life. We have Dom and Letty living their life, but she, of course, she just is not. The world's not working out for her because she's got amnesia. And
Yeah.
although that she's given her life the last parent, how many years did you guess, Gary?
I said Jordana Brewster's kid is about 5 years old in
Yes.
this.
So they've been together for 5 years with this amnesia.
No, he's not 5 years old. He's
How old
like
is he?
maybe what, 3, Aaron?
Okay, 3 years.
3. He's
So-
in a car seat still.
But Letty's saying, "Hey, this isn't working out. You know, I can't give you all of myself. Although we just spent 3 years together.
Yeah, it took her a
Kinda
bit, to
ridiculous.
figure things out.
Yeah, a little bizarre, if you ask me. But she's like gonna go off on her own because she has to find herself. She has to find out who she
Well, she
is.
first visited her own grave, and she's like, "Well, I can't do this anymore. I gotta find myself. I gotta move on. I'll be seeing you. Peace out, homie." And that was it.
Yeah.
The lamest breakup ever. It really. I need to find myself. Dom,
For the,
gotta go.
for the last 3 out of 4 movies, we've had that breakup in the beginning of the movie.
Yeah, they break up a lot. Yeah, when she was dead, you know, they broke up. He like left her, which comes back in this, and we'll get to that.
Was the last one with Elsa?
Yes.
Yeah.
And where they found out she was alive. But the movie, to get it really going, this movie starts out with another family member. We get to see Deckard Shaw, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And he is talking to somebody in a hospital room, and we see that Owen Shaw, his brother, the villain from the last film, is still alive in a coma in a hospital.
Well, he's covered in burns, and he doesn't look like he would have ever survived something like that.
Well,
but
he fell out of the plane, and the other person that fell out of the plane completely disappeared from the franchise, and we didn't even get to see a body. We didn't get to see a grave. They disintegrated from this franchise, and that was Giselle. So now we have another character who also fell out of the same airplane, probably worse off, and is fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's in a coma. I mean, I guess that's like, I don't know. But
This is probably the same hospital he found Letty at.
that could be true. That could be how this
Years
happens.
before.
Yeah.
yes,
That could be right.
Owen found Letty there. He just was walking around the halls, remember? Just perusing
that's
to
right.
find somebody. Yeah.
Is this the amnesia hall?
The
I'm looking
amnesia
for
hall, yeah.
Somebody that doesn't remember anything.
That the amnesia wing.
Yeah.
So the best part about this is he's got Dom's cross in his hand, and he says, "I've got to cross the bear." And he puts a machine gun on his brother's burnt body, and then we slowly pan up to see that he has not only taken this hospital wing hostage, he has threatened the nurses, "Make sure my brother survives, or I'll come back and kill you." And then we slowly watch as he walks throughout the hospital slowly with some fun transition shots and some title cards just to show that he has literally killed probably everybody in this hospital.
Yeah, the windows blown out and everything. Like, he just tore up the place. One man show.
Bullet holes are everywhere, things are on fire.
Yeah.
He's destroyed this hospital.
There's no police. All the SWAT guys that were guarding his brother are dead.
Yeah.
I mean, one man did all this.
You'd think he would take out some vital organs or machines that would keep his brother alive.
Exactly. There's a fire and there's like explosions. This place has got the sprinklers going, alarms going off. Nothing.
There's no police.
It's quiet. It's funny. It's jokes. It's jokes time. This is a new take in the franchise. This is full on Avengers now. Everybody's a superhero now in this movie.
This is the point where I was just like, oh, okay. All right. I know what
Yep.
we're going to see now.
Yep.
This is the beginning of the nonsense.
And I don't know if we're in for this tone, but I think this is where I'm in for the tone. Except, well, I don't know. We'll talk about that more. But yeah, we're slowly getting the characters right. And so Letty is saying that she's going to break up with Dom. She's going to go off because he wants to smash her gravestone with a sledgehammer. But she's like, no, we got to leave it. And I just don't think I can be with you anymore. I have to go find myself.
It was a needless scene.
Yeah.
It
so,
really was.
It was like, why do they want to get her out of the movie, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. We're so happy when she comes back and then they take her out of the movie again. It's like,
Yeah.
all right, come on.
Well, cut to Shaw is now in Tokyo, and he is killing. Back from Tokyo Drift's finale, last half, he's killing Han, who has gone to Tokyo after Giselle's death, and that's when he throws the cross at him in the fire of his exploding car.
So did they really think that we were like going to believe that Decker Owen or whatever his name is, Decker Shaw, did all that? Like what? I didn't see that in Tokyo Drift. Did I drift away? Did I?
You did, but you
I-
did see it. This exact same scene in the end credits of the last film. And he also calls Dom at the end of this to tell him, hey, you don't know me. My name's Shaw, but you will. You will know me. And that refers to a package was just delivered to Brian, Mia, and Dom's house. As Dom and Mia having a nice little chat, and Brian is putting their kid in the minivan.
Minivan life.
Yeah. And they're far enough away from this house. This is the tuna shop house. We're back at the tuna shop house.
What, 1327?
1327.
It looks like a brand new house, though. Like it's like suburbia. It doesn't look like the same house. It looks like they probably put some work into it.
Yeah. Well, right when it was delivered, Mia told Dom it's from Tokyo. And he says, it must be from Han. He's trying to get me into Tokyo drifting or whatever the hell he says. Something like that. And, but when the phone rings and Shaw says to him, you don't know me, but you will, that exactly that moment, he realizes that package has to be a bomb. He just senses it. Spidey sense, Dom sense.
It's just amazing timing because like that package could have been sitting there for a bit. How long was the timer on for? Or did he have it on a remote?
Did he? I think he has it on the road because
It
he
has
hit
to
it.
be a remote.
But it can't be a remote. He's in an, I don't know. He's in Tokyo.
But it's only cool if he makes the blast after saying, "You don't know me, but I
Yeah,
all that funny jazz that he just said.
I guess that's true. It's cooler if he
It
does
is
it this
cooler.
way.
Yeah, he has to tell them that something bad's going to happen any moment. So he does that, kablooey, and then everyone goes flying.
Yeah, the
Kablooey.
bomb blows up. The entire house explodes, throwing Dom and Mia down, and Brian jumps up to cover up the window where his son is sitting.
But
He
they're
closes-
all okay.
He
Everyone's
closes
okay.
the door and then just like keeps himself like in front of the window.
Yeah, he smashes his face into
What
the
did you
glass.
think you
and
would get
cracks.
burned from that? Like, isn't there heat?
Well-
Like, you would get a
Well,
sunburn
Dom
at
and
least.
Mia were right in front of the damn house and nothing happened.
Yeah, Dom and Mia should be completely.
Again, this movie started in the beginning with Deckard Shaw walking in that hospital, and we knew exactly what we were getting. We knew exactly this was going to be more absurd than the other ones.
I thought he walked into the FBI building and got the little information about the crew that took down his brother.
It did happen.
Yeah.
That did happen.
Doesn't that happen after the hospital?
No, that-
No, it's
beforehand.
No,
dang, Jeff. Yeah, you're right.
No, that part does happen after the hospital, but it happens before
This-
the
The bomb.
going into the house.
I completely forgot about that.
Because
scene.
Shaw saw like a little picture of Han, like it was all pixelated.
He was there again, trying to find out who the team was.
Yeah, so it's easy to hack into a FBI computer. You know,
Yeah.
you just we walk right in the front door, and then you sit down at the main guy's desk, and you just start hacking into his computer. It's easy to do. You can do it any.
Yeah, we totally should rewind on that. Yeah, I totally forgot that we have a scene with Hobbs, what is The Rock, and the Dom's baby mama working with him at the FBI or whatever the hell they're doing. They're marshals of some sort.
The DSS.
Yeah, she has now joined them. She used to work in whatever country. She
Brazil.
Used to, Brazil, and now she's an agent with him. She has cut her hair.
I don't like it.
She's living large.
Live in large.
He basically is doing some files, and she says goodnight to him. But he goes and tells her while she's going to her car that he has written that recommendation that she wanted. And
So why does it even matter? Like nothing comes of that.
it goes into the next one. So,
I mean, they do it in this movie, then they tell us in the next movie. Okay,
They have to keep some continuity going here.
Jesus.
a little bit of connection.
I mean, really.
So he goes back upstairs, and when he gets back upstairs, his computer has a gentleman at it, and that's Shaw. He is now he somehow snuck into the FBI building, accessed his computer, is downloading his files. He tells Hobbs, "Give me a minute," and Hobbs is like, "Oh boy." He says a bunch of stuff here, like just come up with anything. The Rock probably says it in this movie.
I think he says, "I'll break your finger 6 different ways and shove it where the sun doesn't shine."
Exactly.
That is the
Wow,
exact
that is
quote.
yeah,
It's awesome.
nice. Good memory.
And I think he says another one too, right after
I
this.
don't know what he says at that point.
It's like a bunch of like banter, but he like, Deckard Shaw is completely unmoved. It's like he's just sitting there. He's like, wait a minute, can you go get me some tea? Go get me some tea. I'm busy. Like I'm busy hacking into your FBI computer. Don't
Says-
bother me.
I think Hobbs says something like, oh, boy, you really went into the wrong computer or something like that. It's like,
It's so ridiculous.
anyways,
Then a fight ensues.
he says, I'm getting the files to take out the team that went after my brother. And Hobbs says, there was no team. It was only me. And he says, oh, yeah, right. And he gets the files. And then that's when they have a great fight.
Yeah.
Crazy
They have a
fight.
nice fight that leads into the other agent coming back upstairs, the baby mama. I cannot remember the character's name.
Elena.
Elena.
Elsa's her name in real
In real
life.
life.
Oh,
She runs upstairs because she just knows something's off. I don't know how.
No.
When she comes back upstairs.
She got it from the Vin Diesel
Huh?
What?
What?
because they're family.
What are you talking about?
I'm not understanding
It
your
was a
look.
joke.
Oh God.
I don't understand though.
You're gonna have to edit that out because I don't get it either.
Does anybody
He's
explain
gone
that?
mental.
Because
doesn't matter.
because she's the baby mama apparently. So
No, I was asking how she came upstairs
How
to
did
save
she
the
know to
rock.
come upstairs to save?
She probably forgot her credit card, like most people do. Like it's like, oh crap, I
she's
forgot my
got the
keys.
Dom ESP. She inherited it from Dom.
What she got from injection or what?
Okay,
Yeah.
Oh,
we're cutting all that out. Let's
None of that's getting cut out.
yes, it is.
So okay,
So Elena comes running back upstairs for whatever
she
reason.
lays down cover fire, but she clearly looks like she shoots the rock in the head at one point.
Yeah.
She perfect timing because Shaw uses this to throw a grenade hockey puck out
Yeah.
and slide it across the room and put a table up to block himself. And Hobbs sees this and sees that it's going for Elena. Mm-hmm. And he decides to throw himself in front of the blast by grabbing her because she's small and he's gigantic. He just like bear hug her together. It blows them out the window. And there are at least 10 stories.
So crazy.
I would say at least they're like 5-6 stories.
I mean,
They're
five.
high.
5 is believable.
Well, he-
10 is you're
Did you,
dead.
Did you count you?
No, I did not.
Okay, so he went flying out the window and he falls back onto the car on a car and saves her.
Mm-hmm.
He lands back down on the top of a car and crushes it completely
Mm-hmm.
inward.
They're both fine, except he's got a broken arm and a broken leg. Let me see him in the
Yeah,
hospital.
I guess in the next scene we see him in the hospital in a. He's only got a arm
Like
cast
yeah.
and a leg cast.
Of all the injuries that actually happen in this film, this is the only one like they actually show, because so many people get fucked up in this movie to like the 11th degree and they don't even have a scratch on their face.
Yeah, Dom
But
has
the
one
freaking
scratch during a
Rock-
fight in this scene, this movie.
The Rock, who looks like a mountain, gets a broken arm and a broken leg, but the smaller guys get nothing.
Yeah,
It's just
I mean, was it the last movie Dom got shot and he just pulled out the
he was
bullet?
fine. He just put a straw in there and just blew it out.
It's just a flesh wound.
I mean, 2 people went flying out of one car while a tank was going down, and they magically flew through the air and landed on a windshield, and they were all right.
But
So-
everyone's fine. Yeah. But The Rock's the one in the hospital, the one we need in the movie, you know, because he's the big one.
Wait,
Yeah.
I thought we needed Dom in these movies.
I mean, hey, watch your mouth.
Oh,
You
fighting
smart
words.
ass. You know, we do need Dom and we do need Tyrese.
Hobbs is only in 4 scenes in this movie.
I know, it's a shame. I like
yep,
I like
and
Hobbs.
it's pretty much all the highlights.
Yeah.
There's some other highlights, but
100%.
No.
it's
There's
Tyrese.
a
Tyrese.
million freaking highlights in this movie. This movie's bonkers.
So, first off, let me just say, because you brought up Dom is called to this. He comes to the hospital to see Hobbs because they don't want to say it, but they got a bromance. Like, I just wanted to bring up Dom insults the 1970s classic, The Incredible Hulk.
Yeah, he does.
Oh, yes.
He does
Says,
insult him.
you're watching terrible 70s TV. And I was like, you know what, Dom?
Fuck you.
Fuck you, dude. You fucking guy. You're trying to make me hate you more? I don't understand it. Well, he gets the files. And this is where he shares some brotherly advice that, hey, Dom, I know you're going to go after him, but kill him for me. Basically, don't miss.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what he,
He actually
says.
literally says, don't miss.
We also find out that Hobbs has a daughter. randomly.
Does
out
that
of
come back?
nowhere.
Very random.
Does that come back? It comes back later. Okay. I'll just shut up now. Anyway.
Hobbs has a daughter,
Okay.
and she insults Dom by saying, "I heard my father kicked your ass a couple times,"
She's a pretty ballsy little
which
kid.
is a really good scene actually. And Dom says, "Your father's on a lot of pain meds." I actually
That was
really like
really
this.
good.
It shows you like how when Dom is with another actor who really has charisma, it just really heightens his character.
Yeah.
Because when he's with The Rock and he has that scene with a little kid, he's out like
Like a human.
he
Mm-hmm.
he
Yeah.
has so much charisma in that moment. But then every other scene, he kind of gets sapped out. I have a big Dom problem, guys, but I
don't have a big Dom problem.
I know it. I'd like
I
to have a
like
debate
his
on these
no
movies.
sleeves.
Yeah, it seems like this one he had more serious scenes than some of the other ones.
I agree.
Yeah, and those are the times for me it kind of brought it down.
Yeah. And every time he's on screen, like his action and all of his scenes are so serious and taken so literal that it kind of brings you out of the scenes that he's in.
That's why
While
we have
everybody
Tyrese.
else is having so much, but those are like the highlights.
Yeah.
So we're gonna basically we now know that Han was killed, and he knows because Shaw had sent him that message, blew up his house. He's also attacked Hobbs. For some reason, he went to Hobbs, got his information, attacked Hobbs, left him alive, went to Japan to go kill Han first. Because I guess, and although I don't know if he really says this, but he's trying to kill off his family. But why would he, like Gary, I think, points out, he's already in LA with half the characters. Why doesn't he go after those characters first?
Yeah.
Why
That
is
doesn't make
Han
any
a
sense.
target? So, it's
I mean,
weird.
he wants to get more freaking flyer miles, I'm guessing. I mean, the points are,
I
must
love
be
that.
good.
I love that. That might be true.
I
Actually.
mean,
Yeah.
he
He
flies
does
in
travel a lot.
military. He flies in
Yeah.
military style planes.
Well, since you guys, or Scott, you told me that Han was a fan favorite, I figured, hey, let's have the fans really hate this villain of this movie by saying he's the one that killed your favorite.
That's true.
Hmm.
Which then the movie doesn't really seem to want you to hate him.
Yeah.
It's really strange. This movie's really strange because they make him extremely fun to watch, and they give him a lot of fun action scenes.
He's a good fighter. I mean,
It's wild. Like they want you to hate him or not. It's so strange.
I don't hate him.
Shaw is the villain from Too Fast, Too Furious. The same style, as in, very laid back, except that he can fight back. That's the difference I saw.
Oh, you're saying the guy from Yellowstone, right?
Yeah.
That.
You know what I'm saying? The same, very, nonchalant.
Okay.
Except that now, we're actually going to make him a full-on villain, except for a guy that's just, has henchmen doing his work.
Yeah.
Now we're going to
But
make
he has-
him...
Yeah,
Yeah,
he doesn't
he's
need
surrounded by a
henchmen.
henchman. This guy. He brings a lot of henchmen into this movie. Actually.
Yeah, but he really doesn't need it. I mean,
Who, Shaw?
Yeah, he does because
they're all posted in weird spots all the time. Like someone's always watching him. It's like he's got all these hidden army guys around him at all times.
Agreed.
But I think that's one of the situations that he's probably taking advantage of. Later on, we find out somebody else, but I think he just takes that advantage. Taking the advantage of having somebody else going after them to help them find them.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
Because it's just basically an implication that they're now working together with these people.
Yeah, that's really, really strange. All of that is really strange. Well, it doesn't matter. They're going to go after it. Basically, Dom is setting out to find Shaw. But he basically is telling everybody, Shaw's going to come for me. I might as well fight back. And I think they all go to a funeral for Han. He goes to Tokyo. Dom just flies to Tokyo. He says he's going to bring Han back home. So he's going to get Han's body and bury him in L.A.
Why?
I don't really know. And so
to be close to family.
when he gets there, we finally end the prequel. This is now caught up. Everything's coming together because he goes in the Fast and the Furious Tokyo Drift, and we see the scene where him and the main actor Lucas Black see each other. We get a little bit more there. So now we get to see an older Lucas Black that you guys were all saying he looks a lot older.
He does. He does. But I have a question. Can I just ask a question? And I'm sure I'm going to get in trouble for this. But
How dare you?
he brought Han home. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
How?
Not his own family. We don't know
No,
if
no.
he has any actual family.
How did he bring Han home? How did he do that?
You get a so what happens is you get a coffin and you put the body in it and then you put it on the plane and you bring it home.
Okay.
Are you sure he used a plane? I think he used a car.
Okay, that doesn't seem right knowing what I know. But whatever.
Yes.
Okay.
And I got one for you even more. Does Han have family?
Hmm.
Like actual blood family? I know the answer to this,
Hmm.
but we'll find out later on. So
Okay,
yeah,
then.
none of this makes any fucking
Yeah,
sense
it doesn't
whatsoever.
make any sense at all.
But Lucas Black, he has personal effects. Again, not Han's family, but Lucas Black has his personal effects from the car crash
He
that
said
survived.
He found the personal effects.
Yes, he said he was able to get some of the personal effects that survived the crash and the fire, which happens to be a photo of Giselle.
Yeah, and it was
Which-
perfectly burnt around her face.
Yeah, exactly, and it's like
ridiculous.
basically a movie scene. It's like a shot of one of the scenes from the movies where she was just standing on a car next to a car. It's basically her press photo or whatever. Yeah, this character Han had never mentioned that character in Tokyo Drift. He is actually flirting with other women in Tokyo Drift. Does not ring true for this character
I
whatsoever.
think Tokyo Drift is the most useless movie in this series. It's freaking useless.
I'll
there's no
take
point.
it over part one.
Nope.
But it was so fun, Tokyo
I
Drift.
hated it.
And like Gary said, he is shockingly a fan. Gary said, like, he's a fan favorite. It is very odd that
Okay.
fans demanded Han to keep showing up
I
in
don't
his
get
films.
At what point did he become the fan favorite? Was
Instantly.
it after 3?
Apparently,
He's
because he got
never-
brought back in the beginning of 4,
Yeah, he was there for 5 minutes.
and then he was brought back again in 5 and 6.
This is the biggest outrage because he doesn't do anything. He does not do anything. He brings nothing. He stands in the background eating chips. Okay?
Yep.
That's what he does.
And he doesn't really have a mission. And what's really funny later on is a character points out what each one of the team is. And if Han was there, I don't know what they would have said.
What, the guy that eats chips?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
The eater.
I don't get it. Like
Tyrese eats?
brings, yeah, Tyrese is always eating, and he brings.
But I didn't see him
flavor.
eat
He brings,
this movie. Did he eat anything? I
Han
worry
wasn't-
about him
Han
now.
wasn't in this film.
No, yeah, he didn't eat anything.
No, she said Tyrese.
Tyrese.
Oh yeah, he wasn't
He
hungry this
didn't.
time.
Yeah, he
wasn't
was not
hungry.
hungry.
But
Oh no.
he was very chatty, and he wanted to be leader. But
Yeah, okay. So yeah, he goes and gets the picture of Giselle, and he also gets his cross back, his superpower, the cross. It's back because Shaw threw it in the fire.
it's been an exchange between Dom and Letty like 700 times at this point.
It gets exchanged to everybody because his baby mama had it at one point too.
Yeah, I think she did.
It's like gets passed around as much as Dom does.
The love,
Yeah.
the love cross.
Oh.
Yeah,
Might have,
get into that again next movie.
might have some
Um,
extra diseases or something.
Yeah. So yeah, he gets the cross. He gets Han's body. He brings it back. They have a funeral for Han. Giselle was never given any of this, but Han is buried and has an entire funeral where we see a lot of Asian people. So we know that there's family members.
Yeah,
Why was Dom the one that collected the body?
yeah. And,
And-
how could they how could his family, Han's family, let them move him? You know, like that's not Dom's right. Like it was just
Exactly.
weird. It was just so weird.
Well, at the funeral, we got Brian. Mia doesn't come with the kids.
No.
Because she has been moved to another location after the attack. She's at a secret compound of
She's in
some
the
sort.
Dominican Republic.
Where we also found out that Brian has set up a base of like an FBI base to watch the compound, but now he's back at the funeral.
Yeah.
Yeah. So because I think Dom's like, I'll see you and tell him I'll see him in LA in 2 days. So I guess he went to Tokyo, got the body, came home. Brian came from where he was and met him at the funeral, and they're all sitting there at the funeral. And we noticed that while the priest is giving a speech about Han's body, Dom just walks up and starts talking to the coffin.
It was just
So
so weird.
weird.
Like, so strange. And then he put
I couldn't even
Chazelle's photo
understand
on
it.
there.
Could not understand Dom in this movie. I had a hard time hearing his words, anything he said in this film.
You don't speak Domish?
I don't speak Domish.
Oh, I speak Domish.
It sounds like a Jeffrey Dahmer joke, Domish. So now while Taj and Roman and Brian are all talking about going to a funeral, and I think Roman saying we've been to too many funerals, which Gary was like, "You've only been to one.
Yeah.
No one dies in these films." While they're talking, Dom senses with his Dom sense again. He senses that a car is watching. Now, I'm going to tell you something. If you want to attack everybody, you do it at the guy's funeral. Like,
Yeah.
he literally could have took out half his team at this funeral.
Yeah. He could have taken them all out. They were pretty much all there.
Well, the bullets probably would have bounced off Dom.
Well, yeah. His head is very shiny.
Yeah, and Tyrese and would have just been making jokes while running around.
And Tyrese's head's pretty shiny,
So,
too.
so Dom senses that a car is there, revving up. And he jumps in his car, and they have a race while Brian, Tyrese, and Ludacris don't even react.
Yeah.
They
just
he
stay
just
there.
jumps in his car, and then he goes... He starts following this nice silver car at full speed out of the freaking cemetery.
They blow red lights. They go all
Oh,
over.
they're just causing mischief and mayhem.
They find that amazing LA abandoned street. You know, that famous abandoned street where there's giant fans and a giant some kind of television screen on the
Yeah.
side of the street.
It was like some warehouse. I have no
What
idea.
is happening
it was
in this
ridiculous.
shot?
And completely abandoned.
There's sun coming
Nobody
through
there.
giant fans on a street.
Well, they needed that.
Has an overpass for a bridge.
They needed it for ambiance, you know, because then they race their cars into this area. Then they do like a full turn, and they're now facing each other.
He did a full
A
turn.
full turn in this warehouse, and then now they're facing each other, like, you know, Yosemite Sam, we're gonna get you, barman.
They're on a
Pew, pew, pew,
standoff.
pew, pew, pew. And then
Playing chicken.
yeah, and then their cars just kaplooey.
Pretty much.
Like when you
run
did that
into
joke of
each other.
a kid was just playing with his toys and the guy just started writing the script while watching his kids play with toys.
Yeah.
I would believe that because this is the worst game of chicken you've ever seen in your life. No
They
one
literally
swerves.
just look at each other.
They
and then
ram at what speed? I mean, the
Ludicrous
speed.
It's ludicrous speed. Yes. And they just go right into each other.
yes.
Full speed. And the best part about this is how I had to make mention that the windshield, the whole cars are all smashed up in the beginning, like all up in the front. And then they just get out. They're just like, oh, we still look so pretty. Literally not a scratch.
Not a scratch.
I'm like, what?
In fact, I think Shaw, Jason Statham, he just gets out, and he's fine.
It's fine.
But
Yeah.
Dom kind of gets out, and he's a little messed up because he looks at Shaw's car and says, "Oh, you reinforced it. You cheated."
No.
And
I
he's
mean,
like, "You
come
think I
on.
wasn't going to come prepared for this fight?"
Yeah, why wouldn't Dom reinforce his 900 cars?
But it doesn't matter because Dom comes out of his car with a sledgehammer, ready to go. He's got a giant sledgehammer.
That's the same sledgehammer that he was trying to destroy Letty's.
Letty's grave.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has it ready, and he pulls it out. And by the way, he's out of his funeral gear suddenly, and he's in another one of his wife beaters. Does anybody else notice that the
No.
clothes melted off of him, and he
not
was in?
notice that.
I forgot.
He was in a shirt, but it
He
was
was in a butt-
sleeveless.
Yeah, but he was in a button down at the funeral.
Well, he got dressed in the car because, you know, when you live fast and furious, you
That's-
have to dress fast and furious.
I wouldn't love
you
to
can
just get
easily
ready for
take
the
off
fight.
the little button
You know,
shirt.
Like, he just presses a button in the car and he has robot arms just take off his clothes for him.
So his car is
Inspector
the
Gadget.
phone booth for Superman?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's basically what it is.
Yes. The car can do everything. So,
Yeah, so they
Bluey, they're smashed up.
so when he gets out with the sledgehammer and he's going to attack Shaw, he pulls out a machine gun on him and he's about to shoot Dom in the
And
head.
he says, "You brought a sledgehammer to a machine gun fight?"
Does he say that?
No.
No, to
Oh.
a
No.
gunfight or
Street
something.
fight.
Street
I would
fight,
have
yeah.
liked that though. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, a street
He
fight.
says street fight.
Yeah, and a street fight, you bring sledgehammers.
All
Yeah,
right.
of
This
course.
is something you carry
Reminds
around.
me of that Anchorman scene where he chucks the spear at the guy. You killed a guy with the spear. So right at that moment where he's about to shoot Dom in the head, that's where the SWAT teams come out of the fans from the top of the bridge that they're under.
Yeah, I don't understand.
I don't know
Where
where
did
they're
it come
coming from.
They just came from the sky.
I don't where they are, and the scene is insane. I don't know what the hell's going on here, but they all come, and then that's when they capture Dom for some reason, but Shaw gets away.
Mm-hmm.
They really do a bad job of
Yeah,
getting
we find out
Shaw.
that
Getting him.
Kurt Russell, and he's Mr. Nobody, and he was actually trying to get Shaw. Am I correct? He was
Yes.
trying to get Shaw.
Yes.
So why would you let him run off? Did you let him run off in his car so you can explain the situation to Dom? Like,
Yes.
really? You're just ruining this whole entire thing by letting him get away so you can explain something to Dom?
Yeah, Kurt Russell enters the scene, and he basically is like, you know what? He's cool right off the bat, and he's just playing in a whole nother movie. He's like, they must have said, hey, we'll give you a couple million. Just walk in the scene and have a good time and drink beer. And he was like, I'm down. So he says, I'm nobody. You can call me Mr. Nobody. And he's acting really cool. And Dom is holding one of his SWAT guys around the neck, like choking him to death. And he's like, you can let go of my agent now. He's turning blue. And Dom lets him go. And he's like, you just let the guy go. And he's like, Dom, we just saved your ass. You're about to get shot in the head. But if they were on top of Dom and Shaw right there, they could have shot Shaw at any moment.
Any moment.
Yeah.
There was like
They didn't
17
even have to
guys.
drop down. So
Movie.
this is
Because
where
of movie.
movie. Mr. Nobody talks Dom into coming with him. And he's like, look, we work for the agency. We're a part of the shadows. We fight the shadows.
Oh, the
We're a secret
agency.
organization.
Secret organization.
Yeah, we're the light that shines light on the shadows to get rid of them or whatever the
That
fuck
sounds
he
really
says.
nice and poetic.
So
Did you just make that up?
no, he says that.
He says we're the shadows
Yeah.
that
No, we're the light.
we're
that
the light that
shine
shines
onto
in the shadows. That's kind of nice.
He says if you want to kill a shadow, you just got to shine a little light on it.
Oh, all right. Okay. Whatever.
Yes. So he brings Dom back to his compound of where, I don't know, about 50 guys are just walking in circles all around fixing things. I don't know what they're doing.
There's kegs of beer.
But they got kegs of beer, and this is where we find out that Mr. Nobody loves him some Belgian wheat.
Yes.
He tells him, I love Belgian wheat. And he says, Dom, you want some? You got to try it. It's amazing. And Dom says, I'm a Corona man myself. And he says, perfect. And he slams down a bucket full of Coronas for him. And he goes, our files, our intel are really good. We got all your information down.
He just had that handy. It's like in Star Trek Replicator. It's like, oh, give me some Corona.
Even the way Dom grabs the Corona bothers me. He like grabs it with his full hand on the neck. He just squeezes the sucker like he's mad at the world.
It's almost like someone who pretends that they smoke.
Yes.
Like the way they hold it, like if they have, with your thumb and the
Dead on. You're right.
and then
That's
the way
exactly
he holds
how
the
he
bottle, like it's the first time he's held a bottle.
He's
in
never
his
had a
life.
bottle.
Yeah, you know Vin Diesel's like a gin and tonic type guy, right? He's not drinking.
Frozen margarita guy.
No, I don't think so. I think maybe like a whiskey guy. I don't think he's like a freaking. He does not know how to hold a beer bottle, so he's definitely not a beer guy.
I don't.
I would say a Bahama Mama.
No, I'm gonna go with Blue Long Island all the way.
Jesus Christ.
Holy shit.
I want to know what Vin Diesel's drink of choice is.
Well, Mr. Nobody has gained Dom's trust because he says, drink with me and walk with me. And Dom starts drinking his Coronas and he's drinking his Belgian wheat. And they go walking. He tells him the entire situation. He wants to take down Shaw. Shaw was an help me out with this one.
Special forces?
Special forces. He's like a ghost. And he is now out in the open because of Dom, because of what they did to his brother in the last movie. And so now that he's out in the open, they want to use this to basically capture Shaw, because there is another problem going on where a device called the Brother Eye, or
The God's Eye.
the
God's Eye.
Sorry,
I like the
read
Brother
too many-
Eye.
That's comic book. Sorry, it's DC. I like comic books. I don't know if anybody knows.
No, I didn't know.
So, Brother's Eye, the Brother Eye, or God's
The God's Eye.
God's Eye is this device, and this is where he tells Dom every government secret that you can imagine. He just basically says, we can see any device anywhere. We can see anything we want.
Every person's facial features.
We can pick them up. We can locate anyone.
Everything.
We can see everybody and what they're doing. And if we could see their licenses, we could get all their information instantly. And it's this amazing device, and we have to stop it from falling into the wrong hands because the person who created it was kidnapped. Am I correct on all this?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. I love when you say yes. Yes. This person was kidnapped, and they need help in capturing, saving this person and getting that out of the wrong hands while also taking down Shaw. How Shaw really connects to that seems sketchy.
I don't know. It's weird. I didn't get it at first. I don't think I still get it.
They said that
They can use the device if they help.
to find him.
If
yeah.
they
correct.
Yes, if they find the person, they'll get the device to find Shaw easier, so they can get a track on him.
But why does Shaw want the device? He
Shaw
just-
doesn't. They just want to use the device because the device fell in someone else's hands, and they want to use the device to find Shaw to help them beat him.
That seems extra.
It
Okay.
does. It seems like a lot of
Shaw-
unnecessary steps because Shaw's going to come after them anyway.
It's like the Rise of Skywalker. We need to find something to find.
Yes,
person.
they have to hold up an artifact just to find it at the right moment, the
Seems
right time.
unnecessary.
Yeah, it seems extremely unnecessary. But Dom is like, you know what? That sounds really cool, but I got to do it my way. I need my team. And he's like, we already knew you were going to say that. And their team is brought in right now. And so a couple cars release Taj, Roman, and Brian.
I like this part of the movie because the last few movies, we know what happens. You see him flying in, and he's like, Kurt Russell's like, I've seen the other movies. Here, we'll save some time. Here they come. We need a lot of time for the action scenes.
Yeah.
We're already here.
Let's
Yes.
just cut all the drama
I-
and just have him be here
I
already.
agree with that. Yeah, and you know what's funny? I think he actually says something along the lines like, I think Dom's like, we're pretty good on our own. We can stop him on our own. And he says, Dom, how you doing with that? You got one person in the ground, one person in a hospital, and your house was blown up. And I've seen the tuna shop; it's not doing so good. So you need our help as much as I do. So they join up. So this is a great scene where the team stands around a table, one of those computer tables that exist in movies that everybody can just touch and make everything happen. You know,
So cool.
yeah, the Iron Man table virtually. And this is a great scene because we get all of our characters together and we get to see Tyrese let loose.
This was so good.
And Tyrese is great. And he's basically telling, there's like a team of agents, Kurt Russell, Dom, Brian, all, those guys. And he's basically saying, hey, look, I'm getting sick and tired of being told what to do. I think I should be the leader for once. I should come up with the plans. And they're like, okay, come up with the plans. And he's like, shit.
I mean, right now,
And
you
he's
know?
I think we should all attack this spot because it turns out they're going to hit. There's like a mobile bus of some sort that's a prison thing in another country that's moving, and they have to take it out between these checkpoints. So, no,
No,
No, you're correct.
I'm trying so hard. If I'm
I'm just nodding my head in disapproval of what's actually happening. It's like we go back to the semi with the VCR. It's like,
Yeah.
guys, it's another truck with a VCR. This time it's a well protected VCR.
Yes, and
Somewhere.
Mobile command unit.
they almost died doing the VCR heist, and in this, they're doing heists that they're great at.
This is freaking bonkers.
Yeah, well, so Tyrese just points and says, "We're gonna attack this spot," and then the agent goes, "That's impossible. We shouldn't do that." And he's like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa! I'm the boss now." And they're like, "You know what, though?" He's like, "Look, my logic is, let's attack the spot we can't attack because they won't expect it." And they're like, of course, his group is like, "You know what? That's a pretty good idea."
It's terrible logic because guess what?
Well, Kurt Russell actually says, Mr. Nobody actually says, "You know what? I like that bad logic." I see why. He's like, "Dom, I see why you picked this team."
Just put yourself in harm's way even worse.
Yeah,
Just
he's
go
like-
with this cockamamie plan.
He's like, "Now seeing your team together, I understand. You picked some interesting people there, Dom." And as he's walking out, he says, "Oh, your other teammate is here." And Letty walks in.
Letty's back after what? What was the hiatus on her? She was,
15 minutes, maybe?
I mean,
She
not
skipped
in
a
the
funeral.
movie, but in total in movie time, like Dom's lifetime. Like how long has she
Oh.
been missing? A year?
No.
From when?
After,
Just
like,
this movie?
Han's
Yeah, because she
funeral?
left. No, she left after she in the beginning. she left, before he sledgehammered her,
He was gonna sledgehammer.
Yeah, he was gonna. Yeah, so she left then. So how?
I would only say it's been a couple days.
Days? Really?
Anybody?
Yeah.
Well, that was. She found herself real quick then.
I think Joe's thinking maybe a couple decades.
I'm not thinking decades, you
In Fast and
dickhead.
Furious time.
I'm thinking like how long
The
was she
Fast and
supposed?
Furious time.
Because he was like shocked to see her. Wasn't he?
Yeah, but I think what happened here was
Well,
that
she went to the house and was like, "Oh man, this looks like a shit show."
that's what we found out. Yeah, it's only been a couple days because she finds out that Han is dead and that the house has been attacked and they almost all died, and so she came back to help him.
Okay, so 2
How
days.
did she find the agents?
I think they found her.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they were like, he needs his Letty. He's got Corona. He also needs his Letty.
Apparently, they already have the God's Eye that they can find everyone.
So true. That he's making a joke.
Oh.
Yeah, apparently they can just find anybody anyways, so it doesn't need the guy.
Well, he rolled in when they were about to have their chicken fight. Like, how did you know where they were?
Exactly.
Like, what the hell?
And
You don't
under
have
a
some
bridge.
device?
Under a bridge in the middle of nowhere.
You just roll up on them after they crash their cars into each other.
So
like,
true.
what the?
I think they have like 10 God's Eye and they lost one. And like, hey, like, listen, we need to get
It's like the Dragon Balls.
one back. We really don't need it, but please come get one.
Hack a hacker.
So to maybe kind of piece it together, I'm just thinking in my mind here that, okay, so Shaw breaks in, gets all the information, finds out what's going on. That's how they find out. They're following Shaw, or they're following Dom's crew because Shaw is going after them. That's the only thing I can think of why they would actually know where they are at all times.
Yeah, I don't know.
The only thing I could think about how they knew where Shaw was under the bridge with Dom in the fight was the traffic cameras when they kept running the red lights.
That
I
makes
mean,
sense.
seriously. You
Thank you,
hanging
dear.
on
You
there,
okay?
pal?
You right?
You all
You
right?
good?
Jesus
We
Christ.
boring you?
You need to fart me right now?
Do you need
Like
her
a
to get
blankie
another
and a
beer?
pillow?
God.
No, absolutely not.
Well, I'm just thinking that maybe they were also at the funeral watching what was going on, and then they take off, and that's how they follow him. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense to me.
You know, we
It
really
doesn't
don't
make
even
any
need to
sense.
make sense because look what the rest of this movie has in store for us.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Let's try to get to it.
Let's save the person for that has the God's Eye, even though we have it. Well, we don't need it, so why?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no reasoning. It's just so Vin Diesel can drive a car out a window.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of no reasoning, the next scene.
Yeah,
No
well,
reason.
so basically in that scene, Dom just as the boss, just goes, I want that car mixed with that car over there, get on it. And they're like, that's going to be a hard deal. And we don't really know what the plan is because they're making it up as the fly. The scriptwriter just making it up. So they just show all the characters sitting in cars in the dark and Tyrese saying, you know what, man? I don't know if I agree with what we're doing. I don't think I agree with this plan. I thought my plan was going to be easier than this.
Tess said he had a plan.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, we just don't know what the plan is.
Well, we just see them sitting in dark cars at this point.
Yeah.
You find out really fast what their plan is.
Yes. So,
It's the most absurd plan ever, I think, of all time.
How do we feel about this plan?
Oh God,
I'm
I
It's
know.
bananas.
I would not be on board with this plan.
yeah.
Maybe we should do a vote on this plan.
I think it's already happened, so we lost.
Oh, shit. All right. So, it turns out they're on an airplane.
I can't.
What?
I'm like, where are they? They're like jostling around, and I was like, no, they're not. They're not.
And
Cars can't fly.
yeah, I guess well, it doesn't matter. But yeah, Brian's kid in the opening sets up the tone and says he keeps throwing cars and he's like, they fly. And he's like, they don't fly. Cars don't fly. Well, here we go. We're going to get a scene where cars are going to fly. Because basically the back of this plane opens up and Dom drives right out in his muscle car and drops.
into the air.
And Brian says, well, shit. And he just drops too. And I think Letty and Ludacris, they also drive off and drop. But Tyrese is like, no, guys, I'm going to stay.
Tyrese
I don't wanna
like,
do
"Fuck
this.
you, I'm not going.
I'm not a part of this plan. But because, And now remember this: they're moving at full speed, drop zone speed, like they're full on movement. But this allows Taj to actually still work a device to shoot a parachute out of the back of Tyrese's car. Now, I don't know how he knew he didn't step out of the car and run away.
Yeah.
He could have killed
Then
his
what-
friend.
What if he did get out of the car?
What if he got out of the car? Because I would have.
I mean,
I would have got the fuck out.
Just nuts. So yeah, they go flying out in the cars,
Yeah. So,
falling.
yeah, the parachute comes out of Tyrese's car and whips him out, and then that parachute just disappears. We don't really know what happens to that parachute after that because it
No.
just disappears, and his car free falls as well. So now they're all free falling, and you want to talk about how the distance between they open their parachutes on their cars to the ground?
Oh my
Because
god,
it's
it's like
insane.
200 feet from the freaking ground.
It was 1,000.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it was 1,000 something.
Yeah, but still, I mean, you're talking 2-ton cars
Yeah,
here?
2-ton cars.
4,000,
at
maybe
that
5,000 pound cars are falling that fast.
Yeah.
There's no possible way.
No, it's insane. And that they all perfectly drift in the air and land on roads.
Exactly where they have to land.
It's
Yes.
like a Mary Poppins moment.
They somehow can control their car
Yes.
with no jet engines or anything. They're just going nice and straight. Meanwhile, Roman's just spinning like a top.
Yeah, Roman actually,
They leave Roman behind.
Roman actually gets blown off course and just drifts away.
There's no fucking reason for him to have been out of that airplane. They should have just left him there. There's no reason because Dom's like, "We'll be back for you."
Yeah, well,
it's like,
well,
what?
why?
What? Why? You're just leaving this guy
In a different country, in like a war zone, like whatever the hell they're doing with
Like
bad
it's
guys.
so comedic. It's just spinning around.
I don't even know what country this was. Does anybody remember? Does anybody know what country?
Start with an A.
Oh, Abu Dhabi.
Azerbaijan.
Is it Abu Dhabi?
No, we're not there yet.
No?
Yeah.
Oh,
Azerbaijan.
Oh,
I'm very
okay.
proud of
Alright,
you.
Wow.
But I can't, like, I'm sorry, Tyrese. Like, there was no.
He's brilliant.
What is the
Every time he's on
reasoning?
screen, it's
Like,
hilarious.
they
It's so
should've
much
just
fun.
Left him in the fucking airplane. He had no purpose in this scene at all, except to spin like a nutcase.
Because it's great. Because it's great, and he's the voice of us, which is he's the best part because he's doing everything we would be doing, like screaming and saying, "I'm not doing this is crazy shit," and he's the one that gets left for like dead, and it's so
like-
funny. I love this. It's so crazy, and like Gary already said, that this sets up perfectly the tone of this film. Is just like we're gonna do less of this and just do insane set pieces, and they gotta step it up. And this is a great step up. This is fucking
this
Cannonball
is
Run level crazy.
crazy.
The other movies, especially 5 and 6, would spend so much time getting the team together. Hey, let's do this. Here, like, we got the plan. Let's go.
Yeah, exactly. They're not even gonna tell us the plan.
Like,
It's
we're
not
not,
like
we're
Ocean's
not
11.
wasting 15 minutes on...
There's no like twists and no turns. It's just like here's the lunacy that we're gonna do in this scene, and they land. They have basically set up an entire car chase where the 4 cars that landed together because Roman's blown off course. He's out. So the 4
We're doomed.
cars, which includes now also we didn't talk about the weight because also they bulletproof the entire cars. All 4 cars are bulletproof.
No, just Tej's car.
That can't be true because Brian gets riddled with bullets at one point.
Well, no, the bullets are going through it. Tej is the only one because that's why he drives during this chase.
Yes.
He drives up front. He's like bulletproof,
Yes.
bitches.
And they fall in
Yeah.
behind him, so he's the blocker
You're
of the
fucking
bullets.
kidding me?
No, Tej's
Yep.
car is the bulletproof one.
Yes.
Yes.
What?
Everybody else.
That's why they
yeah, no.
hide behind him in like, you know, in a line, in a straight line. Single,
It didn't make any sense.
Guess I'm
Yeah.
gonna take away what I just said about how fun the scene is because
It is fun.
okay,
It's still fun.
It
the
is.
sides of this bus that they got a basically let's just say they have a bus with a giant car. What's that called? Like there's a bunch of cars following it, protecting the bus, and the bus
Like
is
a
in the middle.
convoy.
Yeah, a convoy. Thank you. And they have to take out these cars, and of course, they take them out very easily. They're going through these cars. They're doing all the fun stunts, all the fun, crazy driving, but the back of the bus drops open to reveal that there's a Gatling gun guy, and he's just shooting. But you know, the crazy part is Tosh acts like he's shocked. "Oh, guys, I didn't plan for this," but they have bulletproof cars, so they all hide behind his car. Now, where I was saying how that is fucking impossible, that you guys are telling me that they're not all bulletproof, is because they have to go on the sides of this thing, and all the sides drop out to reveal that they all have Gatling
Yeah,
guns on
they
them.
get fucked up. Did
and
you see their cars?
Brian is
Yeah,
how's he alive?
his car was
He is
destroyed.
getting riddled with bullets.
Yeah. So then he decides that he's going to abandon his car and jump into.
Well, that was the plan. One of them has to go on board, and I guess
Yeah.
it's the best hand-to-hand fighter. I don't really know why Brian gets the choice here. Like, he drive up close so he can jump in and lose his car and fight his way into this thing. And basically, there's like army of one bad guys on this damn thing. They're
Yeah.
all heat level bad guys.
One
They
of
have so
them-
many gear on
Tony
them.
Jaa.
So yeah, the leader with there's always that one cool badass that doesn't have the mask and stuff, and he's the leader. And they picked Tony Jaa, the incredible
Martial artist.
Muay Thai. I think it's Muay Thai.
Muay Thai?
Yeah, he's incredible, and he just basically is the bad guy here. And they have a great. Well, Brian actually works his way through like 5 guys, and Tony Jaa is not. I think they actually put. Oh, we didn't say that. They shot the harpoon guns from the other movie into the back of the thing and ripped the back of the whole bus off, and that's how they got the Gatling gun removed.
Yeah.
So they ripped it out, and that flies out, and the whole motion of doing it knocks out Tony Jaa onto the floor and some of the bad guys. And that's when Brian is able to get on board and fight his way through some of the guys. And Tony Jaa's like missing, but then he jumps up, and then they have a great fight.
So cool.
Yeah, it's a pretty
Yeah.
good fight.
They have a great fight, and it's still Brian still is successful enough to get to where he needs to go to open up a cage and find someone who's a hostage. And I guess this is the person they're looking for, named Ramsey. And Ramsey turns out to be the actress from Game of Thrones. I don't remember the actress's name.
Miss
Remember?
Sandy.
Yeah.
Miss Sandy is the
Yeah,
character.
I always want to say Sunday.
Nathalie Emmanuel.
Thank you.
Very random facts.
Yeah, I love it. So yeah, it turns out to be her, and Brian seems shocked. I don't, just because it's a woman, or I
Yeah.
don't really understand why. Because I thought maybe he was looking for something else, and then he had to get a passenger.
A woman is able to use a computer.
Holy!
Oh my
shit.
goodness.
What
No
year is
way.
this?
Are you
2015?
kidding?
Guys on your iPod still?
Women can use computers?
I
didn't
mean,
know.
I barely know how to use a microwave. Oh my gosh.
Aaron, you need to go back to etiquette school and learn how to cook for your man. Go back to the kitchen. Learn how to operate the machinery. Do your job.
I love the first example. What, I can't use a microwave? To reheat my husband's dinner?
Jeff needs that Salisbury steak.
Ew.
Oh,
Nasty.
Bring me that hungry man.
I know it's to say hungry man. I knew it. So
Hungry.
gross.
You didn't say it right, Jeff.
Hungry.
Hungry. Where
Oh.
Tyrese was not hungry. Still missing in the scene.
Yes, exactly.
He's still floating around out
Yeah, he's
there
still floating
somewhere.
Well, Brian is able to save Ramsey by throwing her onto Dom's car in movement.
Oh,
That was insane. He's
Yeah.
like, you're gonna die if you don't jump.
she's gonna die if she does jump.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I kept pointing out during these scenes, like nobody knows how to brake.
No.
So the bus driver is losing this person in the back, and that's their whole job. He doesn't stop. He's still driving at full
Wait, but
speed
after
while
they
being
get
attacked.
her, they don't. Why is she on the car and Ludacris doesn't stop?
Well, no, it's Dom actually.
It's Dom?
Gets her.
Oh, it's dumb.
Yeah.
Okay, so but why doesn't he stop?
He could stop, but because Shaw just randomly shows up in his car, he's got like a dune buggy tanked out, and he basically crashes into the side, and she is flying all over the hood of this car and in full speed.
She
And
would've
all
died.
Dom has to do is slow down
Yeah, that's all he has to do.
to get her into the car because Shaw's going at fast speed, so he would have to skid out or something. All he has to do is stop.
But he has 2 cars chasing him behind him.
What? I thought they were all taken out at this point.
I think they were.
I thought that Tesh
Letty was back there.
and Letty were handling the other people.
Yeah,
Oh, and I thought they went off-road in the front.
Oh yeah, they did.
yeah, they did.
Because
Well-
Brian and her were supposed to jump onto Dom's car, I think.
There's
There-
yeah,
There's at least one other car there.
but there's still no reason Dom can't stop and let this girl off the car. I mean, she's literally not like she's just a civilian. Like, what,
Yeah.
what the hell? You're gonna kill this girl.
I mean, she
It was
managed to get in there,
Of
but
course she did because movie.
yes, movie magic.
She manages to get in the car, and Shaw and Dom have a off-roading fight with their cars.
Dom hits like the eject on the in the trunk, not the trunk, the front, and he pops her up.
That's
and
right.
she gets thrown into the top of the car.
I totally forgot about that.
How many
Yeah.
guys forget about
He
that?
shoots her into the car virtually, and it works. But Brian is stuck on the bus because he's off-roading against Shaw. Brian is stuck inside the bus fighting Tony Jaa, who gets back up, and they have more of a fight. And during this fight, the bus driver gets shot in the head, and the bus goes down the hill off the side of this road that they're on, and it starts crashing while they're fighting. And Tony Jaa is able to slip past him in a chase and lock him into the back of the bus because it has like a cage on it. So Tony Jaa's like, too slow, man. And he jumps out of the car and gets out of there. And Brian, as the bus flips sideways, goes toward the end of the cliff, is racing to go sliding off the cliff. You guys pointed out Jurassic Park 2.
It's totally that scene.
Yeah, it's sliding toward the edge of the cliff, and Brian's only choice is to go forward and get out the front window as it's falling apart, the front window, and the bus driver falls at him. He's able to climb the front, Tomb Raider style, and jump onto the top of the bus. And of course, right at that moment, the bus starts falling, and he has to run at full speed on the bus as it's falling. But luckily, Letty sees this from afar and drives up. He jumps off that bus as it falls off the cliff and catches the back of Letty's drifting spoiler of her car.
That was so cool.
And he uses it to catapult back onto the land.
I mean, it's just so wild.
Just
I
saying
mean,
it all out
there's. I
loud.
mean, saying it, just hearing you say it, and what I just watched, I'm like, come on, man.
Could you imagine the room where they're storyboarding this film and they're like, what now? What are we doing? We're doing what?
There's somebody actually describing this to other
Someone
human beings.
had to come up with this
Yeah.
idea.
Like, hey, Chuck, what do you think that if he runs on top of the bus and then he, tucks and rolls off after grabbing Letty's spoiler? That sounds really cool, doesn't it?
I don't want to get a job like that.
Yeah.
I could do that.
I mean,
It's just like a bunch of people drinking Coronas in a table. It's virtually us just writing this whole action film and just coming up with the most insane, crazy shit you've ever heard in your life.
they're like superheroes at this point. It's
So
beyond.
they have to keep doubling down because as Dom and Shaw are racing against each other, they go straight down a side of a cliff. They're racing toward the end, and they're going full speed toward a cliff. And at the last minute, they're able to turn. But luckily, just as Shaw's about to knock Dom off the damn thing, Roman comes out of nowhere. He's made it onto land. The parachute's fine. He somehow got free, and he's able to smack the side of Shaw.
He proclaims, "I'm back, bitches."
He sure does. Yeah, he and of course Ramsey's in the passenger seat of Dom's car, is freaking just screaming uncontrollably. She has no clue what's happening. They are able to knock Shaw off this cliff, and he goes rolling down fast, like Final Destination style, into a tree branch that smashes his car, I believe, right? Or is that another guy?
I just don't know how
That was
he...
another.
That was another guy who went face first into a tree branch.
Yeah.
Oh,
but
it
Shaw-
impaled the car.
Yeah, Shaw does go down, flipping all the way down this hill,
Yeah.
and he's not taken out of the fight. But exactly at that time, Dom is able to get. I don't know how Tyrese gets separated from Dom at this point, but Dom is brought back to the road and is put on the cliff because there's intersecting teams of cars that perfectly surround him on the edge of a cliff.
He tells them, "I got this. You go take care of yourself."
Everybody get out of here?
Yeah,
Even though he's got the most important thing?
right. He tells them, "Don't worry about it." And that's to set up him being him by himself and trapped.
So everybody actually left him.
Yes.
Well, they knew he would be fine.
He says, "Don't worry, I got this. You guys go." And he drives off.
Yeah, and Ramsey kind of yells, "I don't think you got this." So an entire team, he faces them basically like another chicken. The team is beautifully surrounding him in perfect unison. Mm-hmm. And this lets the guys get out of their cars with guns. And we see the boss of this group is Damon Haju from Blood Diamond and
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Guardians of the Galaxy and Shazam.
And a nice slow-mo entrance for him.
Yes, he's in a leather jacket. We have Michael Bay shots of drones flying around them, like perfectly shooting the sides of them on the cliff. They all put the guns on Dom. Now, all they have to do is shoot him and shoot this car. But for some reason, they talk him into getting out of the car, but he doesn't get out of the car. Instead, he spins around in the car and shoots sand all over the place and starts a little smoke cloud. And the villains wait for the smoke to go away to shoot. And the bad guy says, "Wait on my mark to shoot them."
Why?
I don't
Because
fucking know at this
Nobody
point.
has any common sense in this movie. It's like in the beginning they could have taken out Shaw immediately, but they didn't. They just like let him drive off.
Yeah.
And now they have Vin Diesel like right there in
Dead to
front.
rights.
Yeah, and you're just gonna let him spin around like a goof?
Well, he does the most insane, batshit crazy thing you've ever seen in your life, and even the villain goes to the edge of the cliff to watch it happen in shock, because Dom just decides to drive straight off the cliff and roll down. He actually tells Ramsey to put a helmet on for this one.
But he himself doesn't have a helmet. He's just like, I'm Dom, and nothing's gonna happen to my bald head.
The car is falling apart. It's flipping out of control, falling all over the place. They're fine.
I mean, I've never seen. They literally like flattened out like a pancake, and nothing happened to either one of them. Nothing.
Dom gets out. He gets out a little. Oh, he gets out first, and you think Ramsey's gone. They don't even show Ramsey. They go, "So where's the girl? Oh, where's the hostage?" And then they cut to Ramsey like knocked out, and you just see her face, and you keep thinking, was she thrown from the wreckage somewhere? And then they just cut to, no, they're on some kind of like dock on the lake somewhere.
It was
And
just
she's
the most
waking up from being
ridiculous
knocked
scene.
out.
It was
a
absurd.
weird-
It was
yeah.
absurd. The whole thing. First of all, you literally just committed suicide because there's no way that you would ever survive something like
Yeah,
that.
and
You're
he's-
hitting rocks. You're rolling down.
Perfect. Yeah, he's in perfect
There's
condition.
not even a cut on his face.
Yeah.
It's just this movie. It's bonkers. It's just
It's crazy. It is crazy. It's throwing everything out the wall. This is where Ramsey basically says, "I trust you guys," and they're like, "Why do you trust us?"
Yeah.
And she's like, "Why wouldn't I trust you? You've got a parent cop, ex-cop or ex-military with you. You have
Like an alpha.
he says a computer expert, the hacker, the alpha, the Mrs. Alpha, and the Joker."
Poor Tyrese.
And Tyrese is like, "Joker, I'm a super alpha. I'm the alpha."
Mega alpha.
And they're like, "That's why you trust us?" And she's like, "Yeah, I trust you guys more than I trust, going with the agency, I guess." So she goes. Basically, they get picked up by Mr. Nobody, and she says, "They say, where's the device?" And she says, "For safety, I mailed it to my friend. Where?" It's like Dubai or something, right?
Abu Dhabi.
Abu Dhabi. Yeah, I mailed it to him for safekeeping. That's when they head to where, Aaron?
Abu Dhabi.
Thank you. So we're in there now. We go there,
Yes.
and it turns out we get a nice shot of Ramsey coming out of the water in a bikini, and we got the guys all talking about how that's the kind of girl you save, and they do rock paper scissors for her.
yeah. That usually works.
Yeah.
It works out.
Yeah.
It turns out Ramsey's friend that she mailed it to sold it.
What a nice friend.
Yeah, he says, "I sold it. It's fine." And he sold it to a billionaire for some reason wants a chip to put in his car because he has the most expensive car that there's only like 7 of in the whole world, and he has it in his penthouse apartment up on the top of one of the famous Dubai towers.
I'm still not clear on how you get a car up there. I mean, the elevators don't seem that big.
Helicopter.
Really? And what do you do? Just remove the top of the building?
Yeah,
You
there's
just
probably-
remove the top of the roof?
This actually stuff happens. This stuff happens all the
Well,
time.
we found out you can drop a car from a plane with a parachute. So
Yeah, that's true.
You can do that. That's
Anything's
true. Yeah,
possible.
you can. Yeah, that's okay. I stand corrected.
I mean, I
Sorry.
don't know how you get grand piano in there. I mean, I'm sure they do that too, though, right? There is a grand piano up there.
Yeah.
It's a giant grand piano, actually. So yeah, it turns out that this guy wants the chip, but we don't know why he wanted this chip. Wait, he didn't. This guy sold his friend's chip that she sent him for safekeeping to a guy. It must have been for nothing because what is it? Just a normal SD card?
He said that,
Well, it was stashed
I
in
actually
there.
put it in the car or whatever, and he had no idea what it was.
He said I heard him say he sold it.
He sold the thing it was hidden in.
Which is the car, right?
Yeah.
She didn't hide it in no car. She sent it to him in the mail.
Well, then I don't
was
know.
sending
I
a
have no idea
$1 million
why
car.
he put it in there and sold the car with it.
she hid it in a chip, and he
said-
sold the chip,
Yeah.
not knowing that it was in the chip.
Huh?
Wait, that didn't make any sense. What
Yeah,
you just said.
he
You
sold
said he
the
sold
chip.
the chip with the chip in it.
With the chip.
He
We don't even know what the product is.
But anyways,
he sold the microchip
It's
with
a
an
donut
SD
hole
card.
within another
It has to
donut
be an
hole.
SD card because
Sure.
she has information for the God's Eye. It has to be on a drive of some sort.
She said she has
But
the
she said she
secret
hid it.
encrypted in the chip.
Yes.
So
it's
it
an
is a chip. Yes, it is an SD card.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying to you.
Yes.
But why would he sell it to a guy to put in his car?
Because
oh, because wasn't it in the little like car console, like little screen thingy? Because Paul Walker was like punching at it to get
maybe he
something
wanted
out.
to watch the Disney
You're
Channel
right.
on there.
He did punch it. I was wondering why he did that. I thought he punched it to stop it. I didn't understand that part.
Because it was inside there. So that's where he needed
I think
to
they
get
were,
it.
yeah, they were trying to figure out where it was.
All right.
Maybe I don't know.
So
Anyways,
the only thing I can think of is that this thing looks like a microchip, but
Exactly.
when they finally bust it out of the screen, they give it to Ramsey. She pops out a USB stick. There's like a little USB stick that I think that's what Jeff was referring to as far as like the chip, but it was part of this thing that was just being held in it. That's it. So I think the guy sold the billionaire the thing, thinking that's what was supposed to go part of the thing, but it actually has the USB stick in it, which has
That is a weird plot
And
line.
for what though? Because he doesn't even
deep
drive the
layers.
fucking car.
That doesn't
The
make
car
any sense.
sits in his house. He doesn't even drive
Why
the
does
car.
he need a chip in it?
Why does
Yes.
he need it?
Why
It's
does he
in-
not have gas in his
Okay,
car?
officially they're saying that her friend sold it to a Jordanian prince on purpose.
that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah, he said he sold it
Yeah,
on purpose.
he sold it on
The
purpose.
prince
said it
used the
straight
God's Eye for speed drive in his.
No,
in
he
his
didn't.
car.
No, they didn't know the God's Eye was on it, so this prince didn't buy the God's Eye. He didn't know it was on it because it was encrypted secretly on this chip.
Yeah, he
She
wouldn't
said
have known
I
that.
secretly hid it in the thing.
Yeah, she did say that. It was a secret.
yeah, they wouldn't have known that. So I think
He
thought
just
that
bought
the
an
thing was a
SD
chip.
card.
Yeah,
Right,
He
but
could've got anywhere.
apparently made his car faster, and that's why he bought it.
This is the
doesn't make any
stupidest fucking
sense.
plot. The
What
stupidest
the fuck?
fucking plot.
Alright.
He doesn't even drive the goddamn car. It's sitting on the
It's
111th floor up there in the freaking tower.
I have to ask why it's gassed up. I don't know what the. Yeah, so
I mean,
unless
I
they need
figured
to
out
move
how
it,
he got it up there. Maybe he assembled it in the penthouse. You know, like he had all the parts
They
brought in.
assembled. Well, I guess so. It's light as shit. It's a very light car.
Yes,
so
it's proven a bulletproof car
it's
is
extremely
light enough to lift by one
like
person.
a bed mattress.
Something.
Yeah.
29 power.
29.
Jesus Christ.
So yeah, okay. So they're like, oh, now Tyrese is excited because he's like, this brings me back. This is what I really am good at. Billionaires, cars, women. I'm in. This is what my life is right here. We got to go, and they got to dress to the nines because they're throwing a big party in that penthouse with that prince. And so they all have to dress up fancy, get a nice little shot walking down the stairs from like a wedding video being shot.
Oh yeah.
And-
Like it's like a music video, and they're
Yeah.
walking in slow mo.
The best part of this is Letty and Dom take a separate elevator
They had a
than the
moment.
rest of the group. Like Tyrese is already there.
Yeah,
It's so
weird.
funny just to give them a lone scene.
Yeah, he needed to tell her that she's beautiful.
Yeah, he gets up on her and does all that creepy acting. I just can't take it. I don't know. Sorry, guys. Anyways, Letty looks nice in her red dress.
Yes, she does.
Dom has got too many sleeves in his jacket. I know Joe's very upset, and we were hoping he's going to rip the sleeves off
Can't
the
you just rip the sleeves off the jacket? I mean, come on, man.
No, I loved this because I loved watching it with a bunch of people who had not seen this movie, because I just heard Gary looked at me and go, "Was he going to drive out the window?" And I just was like, "Yep." I did a nod, and he's like, "Huh, wait," and he was like, "Okay,
Wow.
okay then."
And then the next I'm like, you know what? He's going so fast. Is he gonna drive into the other building now? Yep. Okay.
Just all of you guys going, "What? What?" Joe's face dropped because she had seen this movie before, and she had already seen the parachuting planes, like cars, I mean. And then when you saw this, your mouth was even more open. You're like, "What?" And you had seen this before.
I
And
don't even
completely
recall
forgot.
this at all. I
This
don't
this
recall
is
it.
this is the movie, and this is the scene where I was like, "I love this. I love this shit. This is trash cinema, and I absolutely love it, and I adore this scene because it is so not giving a shit about any logic
No,
whatsoever."
I mean, from the beginning, opening scene, they didn't
This
care
is
about logic.
another level.
It was fun.
It's so much fun.
I,
So
I just wish that they took it all the way down.
I
Just
wish
keep
it just
going.
kept doing it.
Go keep going, man.
How
Like
funny
Selma
would it be?
Green.
Ridiculous,
How
over the
funny
top.
would it have been? So yeah, what happens here is I kind of buried the. I already did the reveal here, but
Well, their cover's blown.
well, Tyrese gets to do a little his thing, which is distraction,
Yeah.
while Taj and Ramsey are doing hacking stuff, which is funny because the street race car hacking guy is better than the FBI secret person who made a God's Eye device. She's not doing anything. She's shocked every time he suggests something. She's like, "That's amazing."
Yeah, she's not doing
This
anything. I don't
guy
even know
stole
why they needed
VHS
her.
tapes for a living. He used to steal VHS recorders for a living. And she's
VHS
shocked
tapes.
about how amazing he is. It's insane. And not only is he amazing, but he can also beat the shit out of everybody with Kung Fu now.
Okay, when
Yes,
did that happen?
now he knows
when
how to
did
fight.
When did he take classes?
I don't know.
The last movie.
He was
did.
literally like the smallest one of the bunch. He didn't fight at all, and now all of a sudden he's,
he's
elbowing
ripped.
He's
motherfuckers.
ripped, yeah, but
He's ripped.
he is
Where?
in good shape. No, he's in
Yeah,
good
he's
shape.
in good
You don't
shape.
He
remember that?
looks
You
skinny
didn't
as
see
hell.
that 8-pack in the last movie?
Yeah, did you remember that shark tooth?
No, I wasn't looking.
Oh my god.
So
I
anyway,
only
That's-
focus on Dom's sleeve.
I think this would be the first time you were looking in this series.
What?
well, she was like, "I need bald, hairless men. Where are my
need no
hairless guys
sleeves.
at? We have no sleeves."
He didn't have a fro in this one, so I mean,
Okay, that is a
That's-
big
oh,
improvement.
I wish they would have brought that fro back.
Yeah, he
That
definitely
fro's
looks
badass.
better in this one, I think.
So they're I guess running a security outside in the computer room while Tyrese is doing a distraction by doing crazy stuff and insulting women, which is funny as shit. And at the same time, Brian and Dom are going into the room with a car, and Letty has to go into the prince's bedroom and beat the guards up to go in there to hack into the wall and cut the orange wire to get them into the system. And that's when Letty gets attacked by the prince's bodyguard, which is Ronda Rousey.
They knew exactly what that orange wire was going to be, huh?
They said go into the wall into the
Hey.
phone line,
You'll find a phone line,
and then he
Jack.
cut, and he's such a bunch of mumbo jumbo of some sort, Abu Dhabi, and some,
It's like English.
and yeah, he says orange wire.
Okay.
And that's it. That's all it took. And Ronda Rousey comes in there, and she's like, thank God you came because I hate boring parties.
She beats their
They're
ass.
boring me to death.
They,
So
well, they beat
I
each
wanna
other's
fight.
ass, yeah. And also, can I just make a note of something? So there's a scene right that happens. I noticed it. It's a film flub. Well, yeah. So she gets stabbed. Ronda Rousey gets stabbed in her leg by Letty. You remember this?
She does. She takes her knife out of
Yeah,
her
There's
stocking.
no freaking blood nowhere.
I mean, like, she stabbed her in, like, a part of her
On-
body that does
In
not
her
bleed.
fleshy thigh.
These movies are very non-R. These are not R-rated films, right? And there is no gore. If you watch, like, even bullet holes are like very barely bloody.
I mean, I don't even get a scratch on their forehead, so I was just like,
It's really strange. It's very like PG fighting. It's if you pay attention to it, it is very off-putting. You always are waiting for someone to be hurt or bloody, and it never comes. It never happens.
They're superhuman. They're superhuman, and it gets even better now because ding, 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 the alarm's going off, and
I was wondering what that was. I thought that was going to be the Ronda Rousey
alarm,
fight.
yeah,
What about the ice cream truck coming in?
that's like my my invisible alarm or whatever. So like so Letty's cover's blown, and then they get in this freaking car.
Brian has to get under the car to get the device, and that makes Vin Diesel pick the car up.
It's superhuman yet again. Superhuman.
He actually lifts a half the car up. It's not the engine half. He's still picking up a car.
Don't
29
understand.
power.
29
Oh
power.
my
He's going
gosh.
through strong.
Well, he
He's got
didn't-
I don't think he has the cross on in the scene. I don't know where he's got the
No,
car.
he might be tucked under his suit,
That could be it.
but like so
Wasn't Letty wearing it?
no, Letty's wearing a pretty dress.
She's wearing a really nice dress.
Yeah, he might have put it on her.
You know what? Maybe.
No,
It does
not-
come
that's
back,
enough-
guys. The
yes,
only reason we bring that
later.
up is it does come back.
She's not wearing
Okay.
it with the dress. It doesn't go with the dress. But so the shades come
You
down,
never
the
take it off.
security system's out, and so they get in the car and they drive through the freaking wall. Now, mind you, they can't see who's on the other side of the wall. They could have killed just a bunch of people.
They could have killed Tyrese.
They could have killed Tyrese.
No, not Tyrese.
Yeah,
could've.
that's the plan now. The plan is to drive the car out of the vault. Somehow they get it through the vault walls that are coming down.
Now, before you continue with that point, the final fight scene with Letty and Ronda Rousey is they both fall through and they land on top of the piano, right?
That's after the car's already gone, but yeah.
Okay, but I'm like, and that was the end.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's what I was going to say. Yeah, they drive this car out, and they drive it through the window of the building, and his plan is drive it into the next building since they're so close. And he drives it through the buildings. At the same time, like you said, Ronda Rousey and Letty fall from a balcony onto a piano on their backs. And it seems like Ronda Rousey's knocked out, and Tyrese runs over and goes, Letty, you okay? That's it. We don't know how they get
And
out
he
of there.
drags her out,
We-
but how?
We don't see anything.
But, you
They're
know,
just okay.
Because what's happening on the outside of the building is more important. The fact that the car is flying through the air instead of going straight down as gravity would have it.
I loved it.
It
God,
goes
I love this.
across through the next building over.
And I'm with you guys. I wish they would have drove all the way down the floor. So that would have been.
And there was
best.
no brakes involved.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
the brakes went out
The
on this
brakes
car.
in it- oh my
Oh,
god.
gravity works a little different in Abu Dhabi.
That's true.
It makes sense.
Is it the higher altitude
This is true. I
in the
don't.
buildings?
Can you even do this in a Grand Theft Auto or anything like that? Can you drive cars just cause? Can you drive cars through buildings like this?
You're not at this height. There's no way to jump from this height. But you can on one of those what do you call it? A ramp.
A ramp?
You can jump over a building. You can jump that high.
That's hilarious.
I
I was gonna say
can't.
you can't even do this in video games yet. So yeah, okay, it's fantastic. It is insane, and it ends with Brian having to smash the front console and get the chip out and jump out of the car, and Dom does the same, and the car goes flying out the window and lands on the sidewalk.
Yeah, anyone could have been down there, but you know what? We'll take that risk.
And later on, they say we don't kill people. They drove this car through a museum at one point.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah, it's fantastic though, guys. It is so fucking
It's-
stupid
it's
that
bonkers.
I love it.
It's-
Just the fact that this is not a Marvel movie and not a comic book film where insanity is okay. This is a serious action film. It's like, oh man, we're doing some awesome shit, aren't we?
It's
Look how
not
cool
a
this
serious
is.
action film. They know that they're doing ludicrous. See what I did?
Buddha.
See what I did? I said ludicrous. I did it.
I like it.
But yeah, like, come on now. It's over the top. It's beyond over the top. It's complete insanity. It's just like, okay, let's just see how far we can punch it. And that's exactly
And
what
they
they're
did.
doing. Yeah.
And
Punched it several times.
We should point out that we always get shots of Mr. Nobody and his right-hand guy, watching all these things and always going, what is he going to do? What's their plan? Oh, that's crazy. He does all that stuff. And Mr. Nobody's always like, well, he's always surprising.
He's the most pointless character.
Who?
Mr. Mr. Nobody.
I love him.
No, I love.
What does he do? Nothing. He doesn't do anything.
I
He
just,
brought life to the movie.
and he also gives
With
the movie
beer.
a reason for happening.
Yeah.
In a way, like although it's still very loose plot line, he brings it to a reason, because otherwise you would be questioning, how is this group getting the money? How is this group getting around so much? How is this group doing this?
So, with all their hard work in Abu Dhabi, they're now full powered with the God's Eye,
They have the God's Eye.
and it's a GPS device.
It's
Yeah.
yes, it's just
exactly what
a
it is.
camera hack.
This is what the movie's about. This
Yeah.
thing is what, yeah.
And they use it to find Shaw. He's just sitting in a warehouse eating. And they go, hey, let's go get him.
Meanwhile, we forget that he actually showed up at this party.
He does show up at the
What?
Shaw does show up at the
He
party.
did?
He
And when they
So-
jump the car through the window, he shoots a grenade at the car, which pushes it forward more.
Oh my god.
I totally forgot.
He got
forgot
hit by
he
the
was-
car and he didn't die.
That's right.
They smashed the
They
car into him.
smashed the car into
Good
him. He
lord,
goes
so much
flipping over the
happens
car.
here.
It's so extra. I mean, I can't even say it's extra. It's just insane.
Well, imagine we forgot that he showed up.
We did. I mean, like you
It's like, oh, by the way, a guy with a grenade launcher came in. Remember him?
in a lockdown party, he got in there.
Because
Yeah.
technically, you don't even need him there for any of that to happen, because now that they have the God's Eye, they're going to find him either way. So why does he even need to show up?
Right.
That's true. And you think it would just kill him there?
Oh, God.
What were you saying? This is like only the halfway point of the movie.
It really is. I
What?
mean,
What the
they
fuck?
go
They're in the warehouse.
the
They're in the
warehouse. Shaw is eating in the warehouse, and they all go to get him because all of a sudden now it's like, oh, we know where he is, and it's so easy. So Shaw's like, they go in there with the entire team of Mr. Nobody's team, which is not many people, and Shaw points it out. He came with 12 people, and it's just Brian and Dom with shotguns and all that stuff. And they go in there and they surround him with Mr. Nobody, and he just keeps eating, and he says, "That's all you brought, huh? That's it?" And then he pulls a pin out of a grenade and holds it. And they're like, oh shit.
That's a pretty good defense.
But not Dom. He wasn't scared.
And he says, you brought, this is all your, he's like, you brought all your friends? And he says, I don't have friends. Dom says, I have family. And he goes, well, that's good because I have friends, a lot of them. And then they all show up and he's brought Tony Jaa and Damon Haju's entire squad to surround them to have a gunfight. And they like shut down the lights, so they use infrared. And that also leads Mr. Nobody to put some sunglasses on, which also have infrared on them. And he gets a scene of being badass by shooting
It was
everybody.
really cool.
It only happens after his right-hand guy gets shot in the face.
Oh.
But he then goes badass and then allows himself to get shot multiple times in the back by Tony Jaa, I believe. And they all get, and Dom, all of Mr. Nobody's team dies. And Dom and Brian are able to escape in a car with Mr. Nobody as he's shot. And Dom is like, I'm not going to leave you now. You know, I'm a part of you and you're a part of me. We're together forever. And Mr. Nobody's like, hey man, I need you to do me a favor. And he's like, what? Anything. It's like, try the Belgian wheat. It's amazing. I actually think I was joking around about this, that he was going to say Belgian wheat, and then he did it, and I was like, holy shit.
I love that scene.
Yeah.
He had a bulletproof vest on, but he did get hit. in
Yeah, it
the
looked
side.
like dragon scales
So-
under there. It looked like a
Yeah.
chainmail.
But he's fine. Like, he called a helicopter to come get him, medevac.
Yeah, he called medevac,
Yeah.
and he told them, go get him. And this is their way in the movie of separating Dom's team from Mr. Nobody's group and having Dom be on his own now. And so it's back to L.A.
They lost the eye,
The God's Eye.
the God's Eye at the warehouse where
Because it
Shaw
was on the
was.
iPad.
Because some stupid fucking jackass, the right-hand guy, for some reason had an iPad on his arm.
Yeah.
And they couldn't get it. And they left it behind. You think there would be some kind of disconnection device or something that
nope.
you wouldn't just leave a sensitive material around with them like that?
It seems like they'll be back at like whatever warehouse,
Headquarters or- yeah.
headquarters / warehouse that they pick up.
Where's
And-
Ramsey at this point? She's not even with them.
Yeah, I mean, why would you even need that there?
Yeah.
Right.
And so this gives the team heads up in getting this device, this amazing device, and they go to LA and somehow the group now, the bad guys, now have helicopters in LA. They have nobody's calling in any problems that there's all these attacks going on in LA.
No.
They also have a gigantic car level drone.
Insane.
Yeah,
Yeah.
flying around with
This
missile
thing was
launchers on it.
big.
It's crazy.
And they're controlling it with Brother Eye. And they're going after Ramsey.
Brother Eye.
I'm sorry. I'm a comic book nerd. I can't help it, guys.
The brother's eye.
So yeah, they are going after Ramsey because it turns out the only person that can stop God's Eye is Ramsey, the creator of the device. So this leads Taj to say, "Hey, what if I hack your hacking?" And she
You're
goes,
so smart.
"Holy shit, that's
I never thought of
incredible!
that."
I never thought of something so smart." So we were like, "Why don't they just hack the hacking of the hacker? Just like re-hack the hack, or make the device, or anything else." But he
We're
hacks
trying to put logic into
he
this.
hacks the God's Eye to try to control them going after Ramsey, and they're using Ramsey as bait in Brian's car. Oh, and by the way,
yeah, they were in Brian's
we should
car.
say there was a really nice moment where before this mission happens, Brian calls Mia
Ah,
and shares a nice little heartfelt, "I might die." And that's where Mia says, "I'm pregnant again. It's going to be a girl. We need you to come home."
Okay, there's a lot wrong with that also because she's only about 14 seconds pregnant, so she wouldn't know the sex of the baby at
I was
that
wondering
point.
if you guys
It's
were gonna
not
point
even
that
freaking showing. She's
I
still
noticed
wearing
that right off the bat. Yeah.
she's wearing a sundress that's with her flat tummy showing.
Yes.
Are you serious? Come on.
And so in real life, Paul Walker passed away during the filming of this movie. Didn't do many scenes at all, and they had to do a lot of CG and use his brother as stand-ins, and it was very tough on the actress. You can watch her in all the scenes being very good because it's very hard to film these scenes, and you can see that it's barely him in a lot of the shots.
Yeah.
yeah.
They're shooting him from behind his head.
Yeah,
and stuff,
there's a
but,
lot
like-
of CG imposed shots from other movies in this movie too. You can see that. Oh, I know that scene, that shot is from this movie or whatever.
She was in Dallas, the TV series,
It
and
didn't last long. Yeah, it was canceled.
but she had to do her shots for the movie at the end of the filming, so that's why it was hard for her.
Yeah, she had to come in after his death and like do all these scenes. So her emotions are pretty much real. Like they had just lost their friend they had been working on 7 movies with.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a really good scene. There's surprisingly some good moments, like really nice moments between everybody. But not as much. Like you said, there's a lot of action. It needs to move. It needs to move quick, which is crazy for a 2-hour and 20-minute movie. But yeah, so they go on the mission, and that's where, like I said, they're using Ramsey in the car with Brian to drive to. I don't know what their goal is here. They seem to want to get the helicopter out in the open, but it's using that God's Eye to find them and track them, and they're using a drone to shoot missiles at them. But what is their big goal? Why would they keep them in the city? Get out of the fucking city.
They need to be within 2.5 miles of the radio tower.
But they
In
can
order
be
to
out
hack
in,
it.
I mean, they can be out in like the
Because
desert.
you're saying because Taj is in another car with Roman, and they're trying to hack the hack, or hack.
Ramsey's the one hacking it.
Ramsey's hacking it from Brian's car.
And they're
What's Tyrese? Isn't he hacking her?
No.
Wait, what? Doesn't have the plan? He says, "What if I hack you and what you were doing?"
No, he suggested, what if we hack into your system? So they technically they are using her as bait. They're driving her around, but they're trying to misdirect the helicopter. But even though they can use God's Eye, no matter what they do, they're going to figure out where she is.
Yeah.
And even if she's the one hacking it, then what is Taj's role?
No clue.
Because they're also in a car that's not one of the fancier cars. So it's like they're trying to hide their position.
Yeah, they're
that?
like in Grandpa's car. It's
That-
like a.
I thought that was odd. So I
Yeah,
thought they
it's
were
like an
doing something
Oldsmobile.
specific because he was sitting in the back seat and he was doing something with the laptop.
I have one big flub there. It's like, why couldn't they just
One.
go to the FBI and be like, these people are looking for her?
Oh, like for protection, you mean?
Yeah.
But
or-
the
why-
secret organization with Mr. Nobody couldn't even help
Yeah,
him.
but they couldn't
Yeah.
go into the FBI because literally Deckard just walked right
Anybody
in there.
can walk right in
and
there.
hack the computer. I mean, nobody's safe in the FBI.
And he was actually an agent.
Yeah, so he knows what he's freaking doing.
But
He
he
took
was
out a whole
a
hospital wing.
UK agent.
It doesn't matter. He's still, you know.
He still knows what he's doing.
All right.
Yeah, none of this plot makes any fucking
Well,
sense.
yeah. So
We're trying to sort
this
this
seems
shit
pretty
out.
good, though, right? This seems pretty good.
It is good.
They have they have to drive and get around these things, and one of the best things of all time happens where they basically just ride share in movement. They throw Ramsey out of the car,
That was
one
so
car,
cool.
into another car,
Yeah, that was like the coolest scene.
leading Brian to get his car shot by one of the missiles instead of hers. But they get under a bridge and they swap them out.
That's the second swap.
Yeah, I already said the first one.
Okay.
Yeah, and then Letty comes along and saves the day. She takes her. After that.
Yeah.
Well, because they got really close with like hacking their system. Well, hacking the hack.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it turns out
And-
like Damon Haju is flying in a helicopter controlling the drone with his group, and while Tony Jaa's in a car with his goons riding on the street, and he sends him after Brian because Brian's trying to stop the.
Well, they blow up the radio tower that was letting them hack it, and then they're trying to set up a second hack area with another radio tower. So they send Tony Jaa after Brian because he can set it up.
And at the same time, this is all happening. This insanity is all happening. Dom and Shaw have their own little face-off. They're on the top of a parking garage, and this leads Ramsey to like, "Is Dom coming to save me?" And she's like, "Nope, it's just us. You're fucked." Dom is off doing his little revenge plot line. Yeah, so Shaw and Dom are just having a fight. This is really odd because there's so many weird ass moments because Brian and Tony Jaa have a fight of their own on foot in the building, and that's great. They actually fall down they make a little like slip and slide down the staircase.
Oh my god,
on
it
the
was so
door.
much fun.
Yeah.
It's
but-
I
it's
want to
fantastic.
make a door
I want to
like-
watch the stunt.
like a surfboard, like a door.
We'll do it upstairs tonight. I'll just throw you down
Yeah,
the
and
stairs.
I want to take our goddaughter and like
No,
fling her down with us.
absolutely not.
We'll try you first, and we'll work on
Yeah.
it.
Fire grenade
Go down
launcher
the slide.
behind her. Something.
Yeah, just
Propulsion.
push us. Just give us a push. I'll hold on to her. It'll be fine. I'll have fun.
No.
We'll use a doll first. We'll let you try that.
Yeah,
Okay.
use Annabelle.
Maybe no. Annabelle will hurt me if she gets hurt. I can use one of my
What do
fingers.
you
Oh my
think
God.
Mila would do?
So,
We forgot that Hobbs sees the radio tower.
I was gonna-
Yes,
I was-
and he's
yeah.
in the hospital, and he's like,
You go like,
"Oh,
sounds like Vin Diesel.
Okay, can we talk about this? Can
sounds
we
like
talk
Vin
about
Diesel."
he has a broken arm, a broken leg. His leg is broken in two places. They say it, and he just rips off his arm cast. We never
he
see
doesn't
him.
rip it
No,
off.
he
He just
doesn't.
flexes
He
it.
flexes
flexes
it off,
his
but
arm.
He never flexes his leg cast off. It's just
Nope.
off,
Not
and
gonna
he
sit
doesn't
to.
even have a freaking limp or anything. And he
No.
has a broken leg in two places.
He's good.
And the reason he does this is because he gets a news report while he's watching football. He said
He's watching himself as a Miami Hurricane against Florida State.
That's amazing.
In that split screen, and in that play they call number 94, and that's his number
Oh my
in real
god.
life.
Wow. I would never have picked that up.
Here's
News
the
or whatever.
horn. Toot it.
Yeah. So he's watching that, and then they cut to a news report that LA is under attack of vicious street something or other, like some kind of crazy ass things going on. I don't think they mentioned a drone or a helicopter
It's a
attack.
streetcar war.
Yeah, it's some kind of street
Yeah.
war.
Street war.
Apparently, the newscaster, breaking news. Apparently, 10 years ago, the same team that was harassing the city and stealing their VCRs and DVDs, they're back.
Yeah, and
This time, they're here for world domination.
the once America's Most Wanted.
And no police show up either.
Yeah,
It's on the
no
news.
cops show up.
It's on the news and there's no cops.
So
Yeah.
he looks out the window and sees an explosion after seeing this news report, and that's when he goes Toretto,
Toretto. Tisk.
and we get a nice montage of him flexing his cast off and putting on all of his gear and telling his daughter,
Daddy's got to go.
"Daddy's got to go to work.
I like how he
give
popped the pain
give
pill.
me 3 for the road."
Yep.
Fist bumps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
And
so don't we cut back to Deckard and Toretto on the roof and they're fighting?
We have so many different plots here.
Toretto has
Yeah.
a gun this time, and he brings his sawed-off shotgun and he points it at Deckard, and Deckard has like a whatever.
Well, they did another crash into each other, but this time Dom wheelied
Yes.
Oh, that's right,
And he was
he
on
wheelied.
top of the car.
and he shot
yeah.
at Shaw through the bottom of his car,
Oh my god, that was
while
so
Shaw shot through the engine at Dom.
Yeah, and everybody's fine. No one got hurt. But Dom does have a gun this time. So what does he say? Would you bring a broom to a gunfight or something like that?
broom?
He had a stick.
He didn't have a broom.
Didn't,
Oh my god.
didn't Deckard have like a stick? Like a broomstick?
He had like
No, he
some
pulled
scrapped metal or something.
He pulled out a
scrap
tool.
metal.
Yeah,
Okay.
he pulled out a tool, and
Just settle down, Aaron.
Oh my gosh, are you gonna get me with a mop? Oh my gosh, I'm so scared.
I have a Swiffer.
Oh, even worse.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
no,
Continue.
I was just saying that he pulled out a tool, and he was gonna go after him, but he pulled out a sawed-off shotgun, and he's like, "You brought a what? Like a." It was another Street Fight reference.
Yeah.
But
No,
this
he was
he's
telling
got a
him,
gun.
you thought we were gonna end this on a street fight.
Yeah.
And he fires into the
But then
air.
he's like, yeah, you know what, we will. So he for some reason unloads the gun into the air and then reaches in and grabs two tools that he has in his
Gigantic wrenches.
car. Gigantic.
World's largest,
And so-
longest wrenches.
Shaw's like, shit, he's got two weapons. I got to get one too. So he reaches in and grabs a piece of metal off of his car and just shakes it off.
I mean,
So-
you could have just ended it right there, Dom.
I
You could've
thought
just
he
killed the
was
guy.
gonna throw him one of the wrenches
That
when
would
he
be
had
amazing.
two, and then it's like, oh no, like, oh, you have two? Like, come on, okay,
And you said like Captain Kirk and Spock fighting.
yeah. Did you get here?
So they start fighting. I think Brian kills Tony Jaa, which is great. He hooks him off to a thing, and he basically one of those rollers, like those giant spools of wiring. He pushes it off an elevator shaft, and it drags Tony Jaa to his death, then kills him. While Letty is racing from the drone with Ramsey, they shoot a missile at her exactly at the same time that The Rock Hobbs shows up in an ambulance, drives off a bridge, and hits a missile, blocking it with his entire being.
I mean, he just drove off that bridge for shits and giggles. There was no reason.
He ran into the drone.
It was
Yeah,
a
he-
missile from the drone.
Oh, it was a
But it
missile
was
from
a
the
You're
drone.
right. It was the drone.
Initially, when I was watching, I said, "Hey, Aaron, look, they sent one ambulance to help out everyone in the city." I had no idea he was in there. They sent one ambulance, and all of a sudden this
One
ambulance shows
ambulance.
up and destroys the drone, and I'm like, "Wait, The Rock was in it?"
That's amazing.
It was such a good scene too because he gets out of the ambulance and like does like the two shots.
Well, he looks at he took a missile to the bottom of his car and to his ambulance, and he just walks out and he looks at the camera and just double taps it with his
Yeah,
handgun.
I loved it.
And the best part of that is they go, "What happened on the helicopter?" And he goes, "This guy just double tapped our camera." It's like the guy literally says that to him. So for some reason now, the guys in the helicopter are like, "Let's not go after any of those people anymore. Let's go and get Dom and Shaw on the top of the roof."
Yeah, they gave up.
Why though?
There was no reasoning.
Because they lost the God's Eye, they're like, oh, let's
They
go get him now.
They eventually did
But
like.
why would they go after Shaw and Dom? They have nothing to do with it.
But the way
Ramsey's
they
the person
did
they
it,
want.
yeah, they wanted Ramsey, and like they went over and shot the shit out of the roof where they were fighting up there.
That's what I'm saying. They decide terribly. These people cannot shoot for shit.
No,
They yeah, because we didn't even point that out. Hobbs just grabs the machine gun off of the drone and
Yeah,
starts
the
walking the
Gatling gun.
streets. He just walks the streets with it, looking like a lunatic. Just walking down the street with a Gatling
The
gun.
same one from Gears of War.
Yeah,
yeah,
Exact same
just like
model.
when Halo, you would rip it off the
I
side of the thing.
expect nothing less from The Rock. That
Yeah.
was amazing.
And Ramsey even goes, "Who the hell is that?" And she's like, "That's Hobbs. That's just how he is." You know.
And she
she's
just had like
"Thank
this.
God." you
She
know?
had like this moment. She was like, "Oh my god."
Yeah.
Oh, whew. That's
That would have been
Hobbs.
really funny for Tyrese and Taj if she hooked up with Rock over them. That would have been really funny.
Oh yeah.
Well, so then the building gets like
Well, they're Dom and Shaw having this huge fight, and they go at it, and he's using wrestling moves on Shaw, and Dom is winning, which is insane.
Weird. Yes.
Yeah, but at that same time, they stop the fight because the helicopter comes over, and Damon Haju's like, "Yeah, okay, fire the missiles on them," and they miss completely, shooting between them, almost.
Not even near them.
Yeah, not even near them, but it's a near them enough where Dom is like, you know what?
I'm just gonna stomp my foot.
He's like, in a street fight, the street always wins.
And he
And
goes,
it kicks the ground like a Dom stomp. And it makes the garage completely fall on the side of Shaw and not move anywhere where he's standing.
I love Dom Stomp. That's gonna be a
And
new thing.
Shaw goes tumbling down in the wreckage and should be dead by piles and piles of garage falling on him.
Yeah.
Okay, so, but that's not enough because now they're going to aim at Dom and shoot him. And so that leads all of our characters to be like, oh my god, Dom! Right? And,
So he gets back in his car.
well, no, he only does because Hobbs has walked through the streets and found the helicopter with the Gatling gun and starts unloading on it. And they turn the helicopter to shoot him, and they miss every shot they can at him. And all the characters are now coming to this location screaming Dom, and Dom hears Letty in her car down the block screaming, and during a gun battle, and he's like, what? Oh shit. And he gets in his car and drives through. He sees that there's a ramp built from the fallen garage, and the entire garage starts collapsing as he drives up the ramp, and he grabs a bag full of grenades.
That were in Deckard's car. That he,
They're in Deckard's.
And so he grabbed
So he
those.
Deckard crashed in playing chicken with a bag full of grenades on his passenger seat?
And
Yes,
it did
yes,
not
he
go
did.
off.
Holy
And it did
fuck.
not go off. They were in
Alright.
the back seat. So Dom grabbed those. Now he has them in his car. So he flies up the ramp, and you see the helicopter try to avoid his car, but so it's like a near miss, and he somehow.
He just threw them
How-
on a hook.
How
on the side
did he
of the
do
car-
this?
on
How
the-
did he clip the freaking bag of grenades onto the side of the helicopter? Like they're just hanging there.
Yeah, he found a little
It
hanger.
was like a superhero move.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, and he hooked the grenades onto it and then crashed straight down into the ground. The best part of that is the helicopter now explodes and does not fall on his fallen car.
no,
I thought Hobbs shot the
yeah,
grenades.
Hobbs shot the
Oh,
grenades.
that's
Yeah.
even worse.
So they
I forgot
grow.
about
So
that.
yeah, he shot the
I forgot.
grenades
With
and
his
they blow
handgun.
up.
Yes.
But can I just say something? So the car, falls over, gets smashed up, and Dom is unconscious. He's really hurt. He actually has a stream of blood coming down the side of his face.
Yeah, tiny little cut.
But when he went tumbling down 5 million yards of freaking, rock and mountainside with that girl in the car, he didn't have a scratch on him, but he just tumbles over the side of a building in his car and he's automatically dead. He's dead. Like, does anyone else see anything
Are you
wrong
saying
with
Dom
that?
is dead?
I mean, Dom's dead. Isn't
Dom is so dead that Brian is screaming, "Give him air! Let him breathe into a blow! God damn you!" he's like punching it. This is full on Ed Harris in the Abyss. He's like, "God, and she's like, "Stop!" She's like, "Stop! Yeah, just stop! Stop trying to save him."
he? Yeah, Letty's
stop.
like, stop
The
giving him
only way,
CPR.
the only way we can bring him back, Brian, is if I tell him I remember everything.
Yeah. So all of a sudden, she remembers everything, and her memories come flooding back. It's like a miracle, and she remembers that they're married.
They're married,
They're
Wow.
married.
and their wedding ring is the crucifix.
Yeah.
And he got married in a white beater.
Oh my
And
god.
he got married.
It
in a
was
white
so
beater.
classy. I mean, her dress is
She looks
gorgeous.
pretty.
She looked gorgeous.
But man,
But
really?
yeah,
that's
that's how-
what you wear.
You married the love of your life in a wife beater. It's a winning scenario.
And she had a whole dress on. I don't understand.
No, but I don't think anybody understands.
It's
Let me
dumb.
tell you, man, if you married me in a wife beater, you wouldn't be marrying me in a wife beater. Okay?
Nominees.
You
Is that
wouldn't
what
be
call it?
marrying me at all.
Nominees.
Yeah.
Hey, limited expectations. He's telling you what's going to be like.
Yes, this is how it's going to be.
Wow.
Tuna shop, marriage. And so wait, let's point that out because she tells him in this flashback, she remembers that they had gotten married. right before he left her. Mm-hmm. This part makes no fucking sense. He leaves her after they got married to make sure she's safe. So he goes and leaves, and this is when she died. Apparently, she goes and works with the FBI secretly and gets attacked by all these villains and dies and gets amnesia because Dom left her. Now, let me tell you something. If my mind came back and the thoughts I had were, this prick left me, I got amnesia, I've been hanging out with him 3 years, and he got married to me in a wife beater? I'd get the fuck out of Dodge.
I mean, like, first of all, I can imagine that he just smells like axle grease all day.
Oh,
Ew.
yeah. Corona and axle
Corona.
grease.
Yeah. And I'm like, no, man, that's not the kind of life I want for myself. Bye.
I mean, holy shit. The fact that he left his wife after that and had a baby with another woman.
Yeah, that's shocking right there.
And by the way, we didn't talk about that, but Dom keeps seeing his baby mama and does not even ask her how the kid is.
How's the kid is? No, not even.
Nothing. And we don't even hear about the kid.
No.
They
Dom
share
is
an
not
awkward moment. And he just goes, "Are you okay?" That's what he says to her. And she's like, "Yeah."
He's not a good human being. But
He's not.
I mean, he's done. We think he's dead. But Letty's like, just come back to me. I remember everything. Come back to me. And guess what? He wakes up.
And what's the first thing he says? He says something like,
It's about time.
"It's about time he remembered."
Yeah. And he
And she
smiles.
jostles his
I know.
mean,
car
probably-
crash corpse.
I mean, like, he should have had his neck snapped.
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Yeah.
But she decided to like just, hey, you're fine. I'm just gonna move you around.
Yay, and everyone, he cuts everyone's face. Yeah, they're smiling. Yay.
Even more funny is that Shaw is alive and also no damage.
Yeah.
No, he's fine.
And the helicopter and the garage collapsed more after he went into it. So that thing is on top of him.
He's fine.
And he's fine, and he's walked into a comical prison lined with machine guns on the walls. And he is locked up, and The Rock does another one of his things. He says, what? Do you remember?
He says, I know it. He says, you think this is gonna hold me? Well, if it doesn't, you can walk outside and I'll be waiting right there for
It's
you.
like
No,
no,
it's
you gotta
way-
dig like.
You didn't go
He
far
said you
enough.
start digging now.
Yeah, he says,
Yeah,
you better start digging, boy.
now.
38
And then
feet
I'll
of
be out
concrete.
there.
Yeah, he says the concrete, and then he goes, and then you gotta get through my fist and the body bag that's been waiting for you.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
he's this fist and body bag. Okay, I downplayed it.
Yeah, you did.
And
Like
the door-
severely.
And the prison cell slides closed on Shaw.
Yep.
And then we cut to the real
The
ending.
blissful scene, but then we're all sad.
Oh my god.
It is really
So
crushing.
a huge highlight is the ending here, I think,
Yeah.
where we see that the whole group is now chilling on the beach, watching Brian and Mia play with their kids, or the kid.
Okay.
And Tyrese is talking all kinds of shit, and they say, "Shut up, man, and just look at the beautiful family." And then they do, and then they have a moment. They start playing the song, and they say Dom gets up to leave. Dom just leaves, and he leaves his wife on the beach. It's so
Just
weird.
going for a man
And then-
drive, you know.
Yeah, man, I guess that's the thing. I'm just gonna go for a man drive.
going for a man
If
drive,
I
so
ever
you
do that
think-
to you, how are you gonna feel? I'm just gonna leave you in a store. I'm
You go,
I'm sorry.
no,
I'm gonna go man
if you
drive.
go for a man drive, I could just put on Hogwarts and play.
Oh, I'm not. I'm gonna leave you on the beach.
Okay.
You're on your own from there.
Leave me and I'll just take an Uber. I'll be fine. I'm
Well, they say you're not gonna say bye. He says, "I don't say goodbye. This is the last time I'll see them," or something like that.
Yeah.
And then he goes for his little drive and he pouts a little bit, and then Brian drives up next to him and looks at him and says, "You thought you could leave without saying goodbye?" And they have a little drive with the music playing. I'll see you again.
Yeah.
And they drive side by side with the music playing as we see an entire montage of all the moments of Brian, with one odd Hobbs shot thrown in there of the Rock smiling.
How
Did anybody
him
else-
sharing a scene, and it's like, okay.
Hobbs and Dom's showing it had nothing to do with Brian. It was very strange. And I couldn't help but think it is a big loss for not only, the family and everything, but the franchise, because Brian really is the reason, or, Paul Walker is really the reason this franchise is what it is. And when they got rid of him 3, saying that he was getting too old, it's such a loss, and that Tokyo Drift might have been better if it was him as an agent going undercover in Tokyo. That would have been a fun movie.
100%.
And him being friends with
Han.
Han. That could have been an interesting movie.
That would have been awesome.
But yeah, so we get that whole montage, and it's really pretty. And what's really cool is the last shot is they take different roads. They drive off from each other, and that's the end of the movie. And that's a great moment.
It was very sad.
I was crying. Not gonna lie.
Jeff, did we miss anything?
That song was like the #1 song on YouTube
I can imagine.
for a while until Baby Shark came around.
Oh my god, you just made me so mad.
What?
Any happiness that I had just was ruined. Wow. Jesus Christ.
On that note, I'm gonna take my leave.
Wow.
It was played over 1.5 billion times.
What, Baby Shark?
No. Will I see you again?
Oh my god, my
Jeff, right now I'm thinking I won't see you again.
It's
Yeah,
okay.
you're not going to be invited back.
Wait,
So
it's-
Scott, we wrap up Paul Walker's
Beautiful tribute.
a beautiful tribute with the baby shark
Shark.
right in every
Should I do that scene? That whole montage with Baby Shark playing over it and then put Jeff saying what he says?
And I'm pretty sure it's more than 1 billion views for the Wiz Khalifa. And
Now, yeah, but
I remember this movie like stood out because of the song.
Yeah.
And seeing the video and seeing like the final, when
You can see why this movie made this much money because
Yeah.
everybody was like, it felt so bad, and a lot of people had like these movies as their childhood, and that's why people love these movies so much. And so Paul Walker passing away the way he did, and having that scene, everybody went to the theater and everybody listened to that song because now you can't even hear it without thinking of that.
So sad.
Yeah.
It's
You know?
terrible.
So that's wild.
So that's how they end the movie, and it was really sweet. And I don't know, man. Touching.
Baby Shark. So
God damn it!
I don't know how.
Don't you even sing it? I will.
no,
Punch
No, I'm just saying. I don't know
I
how.
swear
Like,
she's about
don't
to.
even think
She's
about
about
it.
to
Don't
sing
point
it.
it out to you.
no, don't.
Let's move on and let's talk about
What we rated.
yes. Let's talk about ratings. And Baby Shark, you go first.
Oh, Jesus.
That's Daddy Shark.
after seeing this a second time, I will say that I would give it a 7. It's still fun and amazing.
Me?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. I would give this also a 7 as well. I thought a lot of the scenes were really cool, but then like the emotional part of like this was Paul Walker's last film. It just like I don't that the ending killed me. It really, really did. And I'm like, I don't know how I can keep watching after like it really was like a perfect ending for a franchise, in my opinion. So I'm like, how are they gonna keep going?
You gave the last one a really low
I gave it
score.
a 4.
Yeah. So
Maybe I was in a bad mood. Maybe I could give it a 5.
okay. Joe?
I'm gonna give this a 7. I liked it.
Mm-hmm.
It was so bonkers and out of control. I couldn't even get a hold of myself most of the
Mm-hmm.
time. It was just so out of control. They're superhuman. And
I
it was
really
fun.
like the villain.
It was just
the-
fun. Yeah, the villain
That was like he was the best villain.
And he only has 17 lines in the whole movie.
Yes, he doesn't even talk.
Yeah, but you know what the best part about it is? He was a real villain. He was
Yes, he was.
diabolical, but then also he fought. He wasn't just the guy in a suit standing around, you know? He
Mm-hmm.
fought.
It's weird. All right, Gary, I want to hear your thoughts.
I think we've come around to this movie knows what it is, that we said in the beginning. It's straightforward, where the other movies, say 5, 6, and 7, very similar style. Where 5 and 6 spent a very long time, where I honestly felt a little bored with this team setup.
Yeah.
Hey, let's get everyone going, and then all of a sudden, we got to do this thing. Oh, to get to this thing. And, get 3 things in a row to get to the final boss or whatever. This one was straightforward. I think it's hard to get bored with this movie. And I think that it has the same features as in all the other movies. It's over the top. It's unbelievable, but I think this movie is the one I can watch again. With the other ones, I would have a hard time going through. So this one, I think it's the best out of all of them I've seen. I'm going to say 8.
Ooh,
Wow. Holy shit. All right.
that was a good one.
Yeah, I agree a little bit with Gary there. It definitely is fun, but you really start to talk everything out. It loses a little bit for me.
Really?
Yeah, I just think with all the different things, the not really coming together the way that it actually should. I mean, there's so many things that you could take out. There's parts that you really don't need. It just seems like to me, but it is fun. Yes, I do agree. I would watch this one again as well. I would give it a 6.
Yeah, I'm almost with you on this, like 6 or 7, because it's got a lot of fucking problems. You know what I mean? Like the villain is very undeveloped. Like he's hardly in the film, and there's other villains that like kind of steals thunder from him throughout the movie. For some reason, 2 more villains are brought in, and then like Ronda Rousey's another one. It's like, why did they just keep doing this?
When this movie started, I saw 5 and 6 ago, and I'm thinking halfway through the movie, I rated both of them 6, I believe, 5 and 6, and I'm like, okay, am I gonna have this dilemma where, okay, with those 3, and then as I kept going, oh, this is fun, and it's over the top, and I'm gonna actually like to watch this again, and that's the difference between 5, 6, and 7 is that I'm gonna watch again, and I think my favorite was Too Fast, Too Furious, where I thought it was simple, nice plot, but if I compare number 2 to 7,
yeah, it's like
there's no way.
What a difference!
It's such a big difference, and we throw. I like it that it knows what it wants to do again. And,
Yeah.
So that's why I'm like I have to choose it over number 2.
I also think this is the best one because I think it hits all the right elements. It doesn't take it. I think the biggest drawdown from the biggest, like, the thing that hurts it the most is Dom because he brings too much seriousness to it. I think that he like kind of removes air from a lot of scenes that he's in while everybody else is having so much damn fun. And I think those scenes are amazing. Sometimes he's really fun because he's so like brooding. He's got to do the crazy stuff. It's a little too much though.
I mean, in the beginning we do see some more emotions from him. When in the hospital with Rock's kid, he's making a joke. There's some facial expressions of worriedness. He's not sure what's going to happen. You've seen him actually hurt a couple times, which is showing like he's not, where everyone else is superhuman, but it looks like he might not make it.
Yeah.
And he has to be saved by Hobbs. And it's like, oh, okay, now he's not, the all glorious heroes. He's now sharing a little of the screen time.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, so I don't mind him in this movie where for like movies 4, 5, Dom takes all the fun out of the movie.
Yeah, I think he's like the biggest issue. I think he came in and he makes the writer write stuff for him where he looks like a god. And it really takes me down a lot because I want to see the characters go through like pain or get hurt or have like stakes. And I feel like there's no stakes when they're superhuman.
That's everyone in the cast.
But I think that you kind of see some of them like almost failing. Whereas Dom is like, we talked about it. One of the best scenes in this movie is the only way that Brian could kill Tony Jaa's character is by him not knowing that he attached him to that thing. It wasn't he could beat him hand to hand.
Right.
Whereas Dom, he can beat anybody hand to hand. He can do anything. Like, he's throwing Jason Statham around.
That's what I'm
He stomped
telling you.
a garage apart. It's just so stupid.
He
That was
went down
insane.
a hill off a mountainside
Exactly.
and didn't have a scratch, but he went down off a parking garage in his car and he was dead.
Exactly what I'm talking about.
Like, it's just
There is nothing feels real about his character. He's just so, like, I'm great.
That's everybody. There's no consequences.
Well,
there's just none.
I like The Rock walking through the street with a Gatling gun. There's something about that's fun because it's so stupid, but it's like he knows.
Yeah.
It's like they know this is silly. It's the only one that doesn't seem like he knows is Vin Diesel to me. And I think that's the big problem. But I do agree and I think this is the best one, and I think it's a 7. And it's really hard for me to even say a 7 because I think it's so bad it's good. I think it's just
It's over the top.
incredibly.
It's bonkers.
And honestly, when I say
stupid
8,
stuff.
I don't want to line this up with Godfather. I meant like in the, if I'm only judging these movies by itself, I like.
That's a whole nother debate we can have for another
Yeah.
time. I always say all movies are judged off of each other, but okay.
I just
In this
want to make it
franchise.
clear to the our millions of fans
This is a 7.
that I don't all-time movies. I just meant when reading the movie. Where would I put it?
Asshole, we only have 2 fans. You guys are all dicks. I'm going to bed. Get out of my fucking house.
Well, Gary ruined it. Jeff and Gary, Baby Shark, and
jeez.
and Gary ended the episode. Just shattered our hopes and dreams, our thought process. It's all out the window now.
Now, this
Just remember this: Gary said, "Fast and Furious 7, Godfather, same level, amazing,
Yes.
incredible."
Hey, thought you could leave without saying goodbye.
Baby shark do 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 do, baby shark do 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 do, baby shark.
Let me tell you, yeah, we came a long way. I see you again.